Roy White of the New York Yankees. When I'm not playing ball, I listen to Barry Gray right here on WMCA, New York.
From Madison Square Garden in New York, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Series featuring the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Good evening, everyone. This is Jim Garvey from Madison Square Garden, where tonight the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers hook up in Game 3 in the first series for the Stanley Cup. Each team, surprisingly enough, has won on the other's ice. The Islanders coming through on Tuesday night, 3-2. And last night at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, it was the New York Rangers overwhelming the New York Islanders by the final count of 8-3. Last night's games featured a record total of 50 penalties, surpassing the previous high of 43 penalties set last year in a series featuring the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers. And last night's game has been called everything from a Pier 6 brawl to a tremendous exciting hockey game. And take your pick. The game's a matter of the record, and now it's Game 3 tonight. Both teams looking for the win that'll catapult them into the next round of the Stanley Cup. Coming up, my guest on Islander Highlights, Bill Torrey, the general manager of the New York Islanders. And Bill will be back when we return in a moment.
Now, here's a word from the #1 beer in New York.
Hey, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
New York is full of landmarks. The Battery, Washington Square, Shea Stadium. And over on Kent Avenue in Brooklyn, there's another landmark, the Schaefer Brewery. Since 1842, there's always been a Schaefer Brewery in New York, because New York has always liked Schaefer's way of tasting first beer good, beer after beer, year after year. Schaefer's a beer born and brewed right here in New York. It's New York's #1 beer.
One more time. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
The people of Eastern believe they're going to make your next Eastern flight a great flight.
I think when you buy a ticket on Eastern, you deserve a clean plane.
When you have a good flight, that's when we have a good flight. You gotta believe.
We work hard, get out on time, so you get in on time.
You gotta believe my crew will see to it that you have a beautiful flight.
You've gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
If you're flying to Atlanta, Eastern has 13 daily non-stops. And from Atlanta, you can connect to major cities in the South and Southeast. Take one of Eastern's money-saving night coaches to Atlanta and save about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. Most flights to Atlanta feature Eastern's comfortable 727 Whisper jets with spacious redesigned interiors. For reservations, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
This is Jim Garvey from Madison Square Garden, and my guest tonight, the general manager of the New York Islanders, Bill Torrey. And Bill, it's been a long season. We had you early, we had you in the middle, and here we are down at the end, and it's a pleasure to welcome you again.
Well, Jim, I'm hoping, quite frankly, it isn't the end. It's towards the end, no question about that, but hopefully we'll be around for a while yet, although we've got a big hurdle to climb tonight.
Well, you know, Bill, when it's a one-game, winner-take-all series, I think that past records and past games sort of go out the window, and but the chips fall where they may. The hot club, the hot goaltender comes out ahead, and I think that both clubs have things going for them and things going against them, and the way I see it, it could go either way.
Well, I don't think there's any question that a one-game series, anything can happen at any time, and I think that's the way the players have to look at it. I think, obviously, a team with experience and who's been through this kind of thing before may have an edge, but by the same token, sometimes young legs can give you an edge too, so it's going to be an interesting evening.
Let's look at the series to date, Bill. I think neither one of the games have really gone according to form. The Rangers took a two-goal lead into the first game, into the third period, and for all intent and purposes, I think the Garden crowd and maybe some of the Ranger hockey players felt that the game was was bagged. And then 1-2-3, the Islanders came out with a win, and I think that surprised a lot of people.
Well, again, I think that's a question that where our young legs gave us a little bit of an edge there in the third period. And again, hopefully even tonight, that's something that to keep in mind. I think that certainly we did not play as we had hoped we would through the middle part of the game. We played a pretty good first period the other night here in the Garden, and we tailed off a little bit in the second period. Then we came back pretty strong in the third period. So whether that's any indication of what will happen tonight, who knows?
You know, Bill, the Rangers as a club seem to do very well in unsettled situations and man-ups, man-downs, two-men-ups, perhaps a little bit more explosive on the power play than we've been, and yet you really don't want our club to go out and sit back. They got to go out and hit, so you're taking a calculated risk, aren't you?
Well, I'd have to say when you get the officiating we got last night, you certainly take a risk. I would hope under more normal circumstances that it's not really a risk. We are an aggressive team, a physical team. We like to play the man, and we don't see why that's something that should be penalized. A lot of the other things it's another matter, but I think that there's no question the New York Rangers, when they're allowed to move the puck, pass the puck the way they're capable of doing it, when you let them do that, you're asking for trouble. There's no two ways about it.
Well, I rode up in the elevator with Frank Goodvari, and we had an animated discussion about the officiating last night. You know, being an official myself in lacrosse and having worked some pretty big ball games, you know, you always try to be a little bit sensitive toward the plight of the official, but as I told Frank last night, I think it was the first time this season that I'd really lost my cool a little bit on the air and was a little bit loud in my denunciation of Witz. I felt he took the game away from the club early in the first period, and what he did thereafter really wasn't essential, because once he got out of that first period, it was just about game time. But here we go into Game 3 tonight, and there are questions galore. Who'll be in goal for the Islanders, and who'll be in goal for the Rangers? You know, walking up with Gilles Villemure last night after the game, he was in a great deal of pain, and I had some doubts that Gilles would be able to go. And I guess you yourself really, at this point in time, we're now about an hour and a half before game time, and even you are not really sure, I guess, at this point, who might be in goal.
Well, I'm going downstairs right after I get through talking with you to sit down with Al and discuss it. I think we've pretty well made up our minds, but to make the final decision, we decided we just let it go. The goalkeepers, we've talked to them. They know what the circumstances are, and so we'll talk about it downstairs and come up with the right decision. I don't know what the Rangers are going to do. As far as we're concerned, we don't really care. We've got to go out and play our game and do the things that we do best, better than they do, in order to get ourselves the edge. And last night is one of those things. I think, actually, in looking at our young team, and obviously this is the big unknown factor in the Islanders, there was more pressure on our kids last night, really, than there was in the opening game here, and then in a way there is tonight. They were very uptight all day yesterday, and there wasn't anything we could really do, and they got a bad game out of their system last night, and hopefully we'll start it all clean tonight when the bell goes.
I think the Islanders, Bill, have gotten a great deal of mileage during this playoffs out of the fourth line with Lorne Henning, Joan Potvin, and Billy McMillan. Will Al probably go with four lines again tonight, as the players have to be tired coming off that 3-hour slugfest last night?
Well, I think there's no question that the line has played well. It's a line we put together towards the tail end of the season, and to give ourselves a little bit of a rest, because really we've been placed in a situation down through the last few weeks where all of our games were kind of playoff type games against key teams in high pressure situations, and it allowed Al to have a little bit more flexibility. When we're killing off the penalties, it's allowed him to have an extra line there just in case, and they have played very well. Jean Potvin, particularly moving up from defense to right wing, has stepped in there and done an excellent job, and got 2 goals here in the playoffs, and both of them really good goals, you might say.
Bill, the new additions to the club, Jude Drone and J.P. Parise, we've spoken of them before. They've made great contributions. I, of course, in reading today's paper, had a laugh when I read how the Rattel, Gilbert, Vickers line had outplayed the Druin line. Because as I remembered it, most of the goals scored by that line came on the power play with Druin not even in the game. So I think sometimes the final statistics can be a little bit misleading. But Jude Druin has certainly been an addition to the club that you couldn't minimize his value, could you?
No, there's no question about it. They fit very well. It's always a key part when you make a trade to And you get a good player on the ice, hopefully, but you got to relocate him and resituate him. And both he and JP have fit in well. They like Long Island, and we're very pleased with them, and we feel they're going to make a contribution to this hockey club for some time. And yes, I did. It was brought to my attention today, the article in the paper, and well, that's one man's opinion, and I don't think it's a question that line has not played well. I just think it's a question that John Rotella has had an outstanding 2 games, and he's going to be a tough man to stop tonight, but we're going to have to do it, that's all.
Well, he certainly is. And, Bill, as we wind down, perhaps maybe 1 series left to go, maybe 2, let's hope. But I think that at this time, as it might be the last opportunity for me to speak with you, I think, speaking for all Islander fans, let me commend you, of course, you representing Roy Bowl and Al Arbor and every hockey player on the club, for putting together what I think is a more than representative hockey club. I think the thrills, the enjoyment that the fans at the Coliseum have had this year are directly attributable to a lot of the things that you've done. I think it would have been easy for you to sit pat and take a young club and bring it along slowly, but I think you really had the fans' interest of heart when you went out and got a couple of veteran players, and I think you've done a masterful job of building a club that's going to be a club that's going to be around for a long time. Bill, thanks for sitting in with us, and the best of luck to you.
Thanks, Jimmy. It's still a long spring.
New York Islander action is next. We'll be back in a moment.
Manhattan American continues its price rollback sale with a great deal on the 1975 Gremlin. Listen, $26.49 for the great little car of this or any other year, the 1975 Gremlin from AMC. And that includes American Motors' exclusive buyer protection plan. For $26.49, you get all the standard features and options like air conditioning, AM/FM radio, and automatic transmission. Stop in now at Manhattan American, West End Avenue at 66th Street. Get yourself a Gremlin for only $26.49. Price excludes transportation and sales tax for...
Hi, I'm Ken Fairchild, inviting you to join me for the all-new, expanded, large economy-size Ken Fairchild Show. Yes, by popular demand. It's now 4 full hours. Ken Fairchild and Friends, Monday through Saturday, 6 to 10 a.m. Where? Well, right here on WMCA, of course.
Jim Garvey from Madison Square Garden, and the mystery has been solved. Tonight in goal for the Islanders, it'll be Billy Smith, as Al Arbor and Bill Torrey dickered right up into game time between Parise and Smith, and controversy raged here at the Garden. Who would be in the cage for the Islanders? And now it's been set. In the cage will be Billy Smith. Another playoff action in the 3rd game of the semifinal series up in Boston. We have an upset in the making as Tony Esposito of the Blackhawks has the Bruins shut out 3-0 after 2 periods. So there's an upset. Well, the Garden is filling slowly to capacity. Bill Torrey's been presented with a gift from the Ginger Man, one of New York's finest restaurants, dinner for 2, and Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Series is about to commence, and all the drama that surrounds the Stanley Cup, all the pageantry, all the action will be coming to you in about 5 minutes as Dom Valentino and I'll call the play-by-play. So settle back, relax, and stay with us as Stanley Cup action continues when we return in a moment.
Years ago, the WMCA good guys were swimming with a musical tide. Time and temperature and much more music. And then we realized you needed a voice, so we marched to a different drummer. We recognized the frustration of trying to be heard. But no one was listening. Well, that's all changed now. 24 hours a day, WMCA acts as New York's electronic soap opera, giving you the chance to talk with your favorite TV, movie, and radio personalities. Let you ask questions of the guy or gal who wrote that bestseller you just finished. Or it gives you a chance to just get something off your chest. So when you're tired of noise and fed up with being told, let's talk about it. At WMCA, we listen to you.
WMCA, New York. Hello, This is Joan Hamburg. We can talk to each other every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. Call me at 489-1155.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to New York Islanders hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Brewers of Schaefer Beer as another major event in the Schaefer Circle of Sports. And by Manhattan American Sales, your savings corner for Gremlin, Hornet, Matador, Jeep, and guaranteed used cars at 66th and West End Avenue. And by the people of Eastern, the official airline of the Nets and Islanders, who believe they're going to make your next flight on Eastern a great flight. Eastern, the wings of man. And by European American Bank, the bank that has made a commitment to bring you better banking. Good evening, everybody, once again. Dom Valentino with Jim Garvey, Mickey Morabito, and Herb Brodsky speaking to you from Madison Square Garden in New York, where tonight it'll be the third and final game of the best-of-3 series, first round of the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs. And the winner will be playing one of several possibilities that we'll go over a little bit later on. The two games that have been played started here on Tuesday night. The Islanders upset the Rangers 3-2. The Rangers came back last night at the Nassau Coliseum and pulverized the Islanders 8-3. So somewhere in the middle may tell the true story in this three-game series. We'll find out very, very shortly. The referee tonight is Bruce Hood, the linesman Neil Armstrong, and Ray Scapanello. Tonight's game is authorized by the New York Islanders professional basketball team, New York Islanders professional hockey team, solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any broadcast, rebroadcast, or any other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Hockey League New York Islanders is strictly prohibited. New York Islanders is a production of Manchester Broadcasting Productions, which is contracted for and has the exclusive rights to the broadcast of these games, including selection of the announcers, with approval by the New York Islanders and WMCA. I'll have the lineup for tonight's game when we come back in a moment.
Now here's a word from the smoothest beer in town. Almost any brewer can give you a good reason for switching to his beer. But Schaefer can give you the two best reasons of all. Your first glass of Schaefer and your second glass of Schaefer. They'll convince you that Schaefer is a cut above the others. Because they'll show you that Schaefer flavor doesn't fade. First frosty glass to last. They'll give you more than one reason to switch to Schaefer.
The people of Eastern believe they're going to make your next Eastern flight a great flight.
I can answer just about any question you have about travel, and if I can't, you gotta believe my computer can.
You gotta believe that I'm gonna do everything I can to give you a smooth flight.
Eastern is my airline, and I'll do my best to make it your airline.
You gotta believe.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
If you're flying to New Orleans or Houston, Eastern has daily nonstop service to both cities, including the most daily nonstops to Houston. Eastern also has the only nonstop money-saving night coach to Houston, which can save you about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. Most flights to Houston and New Orleans feature Eastern's comfortable 727 Whisper Jet with spacious redesigned interiors. For reservations, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
Kurt Marshall and Dave Lewis, and up front it'll be J.P. Parise, Jude Druin, Eddie Westfall. And now join us for the national anthem. to say we've got a standing room only crowd, and the two teams have played 7 times this season, make it 8 times this season, including 2 playoff games. The Rangers have won 4, the Islanders 3. There was 1 tie back here on October 30th, 1-1. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Jim Garvey. Jim, what do you think?
Well, Tom, it's a big game, certainly, for both clubs. I left the building last night with Gilles Villemure, who was just outstanding in the Ranger net, and Gilles was hurting, so we'll have to see how he goes tonight.
By the way, in the second period, the Chicago Blackhawks lead the Boston Bruins 3-0 at the Boston Garden. The draw into the Rangers' end. Ron Harris battling for the puck. The battle continues. And the puck is jammed against the boards. So we're going to have a face-off coming up to the right of Gilles Villemure.
Nick Beverly, Dom, for the Rangers, has a tender ankle, which he was hit with a shot with earlier in the series, and Ron Harris appears to be teaming up with Brad Park right off the bat tonight.
We'll give you those possibilities we were talking about. The puck is in the corner to the right of Villemure. Villemure out to center ice, stopped by Lewis. Lewis to Druin. Jude on the right wing to Westfall, off his stick. It's in the corner to the left of Villemure. Whacked around the boards by Steve Vickers. Battle for the puck. Centering pass, nobody there. And it is taken for the Rangers by Vickers. He's out, left wing, center ice. On the right wing, his pass is off the mark. Westfall collects, trying to bring it back. Slides it out to center ice. Puck taken by Ron Harris. Cross ice and goes to Vickers. Right back to Brad Park. To Gilbert, down the middle. Knocked off his stick by Lewis. Collected by Parise. Parise runs into Harris. And the puck goes into the Ranger end. Brad Park has the puck. Out to his own line to Jean Rattel. Rattel for Gilbert. Ahead of him. Race for the puck. Lewis, Gilbert. Lewis has it. Lewis trying to bring it out. Moves it around the board. And the puck is stolen. It goes in the slot, knocked away by Marshall. Kept in by Gilbert. Lewis goes to his right to Marshall. Marshall coming out, right wing. On the left it goes to Lewis. Lewis lifts it in the corner to the left of Villemure. The Islanders changing the fly. Got 18:20 to go here in the first period. 0-0. Kachuk to center ice, and the puck is fired in the Islanders' end by Fairburn. Loose at center ice. Sanderson after it. Knocked away by Denny Potvin to Bobby Bourne. Bourne knocked down by Marat. And back comes Kachuk. And Bourne goes out to him. Sanderson sends it in the Islanders' end. Billy Smith knocks it away. Dennis Potvin off the boards to Bourne. Bourne center ice. He can fly. Drop pass. Gillies shoots. Deflected wide. And the battle for the rebound. On the puck now for the Rangers is Greshner. Greshner trying to come out. Gillies goes after him, ties him up, gets the puck to center ice for Kachuk. Collected in one motion by Fairburn down the middle, right wing. Bourne intercepts and gets it out to center ice. Gillies to the Rangers line, knocked away by Marat. Marat on the puck for the Rangers. Fires it in the corner to left of Billy Smith. Billy Smith stops it, leaves it him back. The puck is collected by Jerry Hart. Hart has it up on the right wing. It goes to Billy Harris. He's out, center ice. Billy center ice on the left wing, knocked away. Back on the left wing. It's offside, and Marat hits Harris and knocks him right into the Ranger bench. And that's going to start something. There's a break in the action, 0-0. We'll be back in a moment.
You must have a comment on whether or not you think the Yanks will win the pennant. Well, that's what WMCA is all about, and that's what my program is all about. Hello, I'm John Sterling, and I talk sports every weekday evening from 7 to 10, and all Saturday afternoon as well. And I want to talk to you.
Say what you say. WMCA. WMCA. Speak for yourself.
All right, the draw outside the Ranger line. On the draw, battle for, goes to Harris. Harris to his left to Park. Park right back to Harris. Harris coming out to Stemkowski up on the right wing. Knocked away by Howitt. To Brad Park at his own line. Park off the skate of Urban. He goes down. Harris has it to Park. Park right back to Stemkowski down the middle. The shot off the stick of Lewis. And Marshall sends it around the boards to Howitt. Gary coming out. left wing. To Saint Laurent to Nystrom. Nystrom fakes the shot. Back down the middle looking for Saint Laurent. Knocked into the corner. A battle for the puck. Nystrom going after it. Sticks flying, everybody digging for the puck. Taken by Marshall. Down the middle to Saint Laurent. He can't get the shot out. Saint Laurent and Butler going at it. And Gary Howlett knocks Park down. The puck is taken by Harris. Harris with it. Shoots at the Islanders' end. It caroms in front. Urban shoots. Great save by Billy Smith. What a save by Smith. The quick left-handed glove came up with a save. Face off to the right of Billy Smith in the Islanders' end.
Well, the first tester of the night, it goes to Billy Smith and the Islanders. Billy standing his ground as Irvin walked right in alone. And Billy plucked that one out of the air. A great gloved hand grab. And Dom, I know Islander fans breathed a sigh of relief because the first goal is oh so important, and Irvin looked like he was in cold.
Incidentally, Phil Rizzuto here tonight with us, former Yankee great who enjoys hockey very much. He'll be on with Jim between second and third period. Greshner from deep out front. The shot is knocked away by Smith. The puck is loose. Trying to go back to the right point was Gilbert, and it goes all the way to the Rangers line. Marat with it. Up to Rattel ahead of him. Rattel had a goal and 3 assists last night. So did Vickers. They were the big scorers. They played very well. Gary Hart with the puck to Druin up on the right wing. Denny Potvin right back to Jude. Jude coming across the line. Knocked off his stick. Battle for the puck. Parise's got it. JP hit into the corner. Druin on it. Jude left point. Hart shooting. It's blocked. And the puck is taken by Rattel. He wheels along the right wing boards. Goes cross ice to his left. Taken right there by Marat. Marat to Gilbert. Gilbert down the middle. Down the middle to Rattel. The shot. Great save by Billy Smith. What a save. Parise to Druin. Druin coming down the middle. Jude, right wing. Westfall shoots. Save Villemure. And the puck is taken by Vickers. Steve Vickers loses out front. The shot. A save by Villemure and a beauty. Druin with a great shot and a great save by Villemure. Both goaltenders have done well so far tonight. Islanders changing the fly. To center ice to Bourne. Bourne trying to come across the line. Right wing. He does. Loses to Vickers. It's in the slot. Loose. Puck deflects to center ice. Taken right there by Rattel. Down the middle. Drop pass Vickers. Goes to the right wing. Loses the puck. Hart cracks into him. Centering pass knocked away. Kept in by Park. The shot wide. Gillies out to the puck. Cleans it out to center ice. 14:25 to go in the first period. 0-0. Kachuk down the middle. Goes to the right wing. And Jerry Hart rides him into the boards. Hart goes after him. Kachuk out front. Couldn't get the shot out. Sanderson shoots. Blocked by Hart. And Dennis Potvin clears it. It goes the full length of the ice. It no doubt will be icing. It is. There's a break in the action. 0-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Have you noticed how many banks now charge 15 cents per check with their special checking account?
Say, buddy, keep it down, will you?
It's inflation.
I ask you to keep it down.
That's why European American Bank introduces no-flation checking.
Are you going to keep it down or not?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. No-flation means the per check charge at European American is still just 10 cents. There's no minimum balance, and the service charge is still just 75 cents per month.
Check's still just 10 cents at European American?
Yeah.
You did keep it down.
European American Bank, member FDIC. We've made a commitment to bring you better banking.
All set now. A few possibilities now. Boston wins and Los Angeles wins. The Islanders or the Rangers play Buffalo. Chicago wins and Los Angeles wins. And one of the New York teams plays Montreal. Boston wins and Toronto wins. And a New York team plays Montreal. Chicago wins and Toronto wins. It's a New York team at Pittsburgh. On the draw. Taken by Kachuk down the middle for Fairburn. Knocked away. And the puck is taken by Gillies. With a good move, he comes out. Center ice. Clark stops. The shot. Wide. Karam and Villemure. Knocks it into the corner to his right. Ron Harris has it. Harris coming out of the right wing. Harris bringing it out. The center ice, it goes to Kachuk. Back to Harris. Harris shoots. Great save by Billy Smith. Man, what save Billy Smith has made tonight, Jim.
Well, Don, we have not yet really had a great goaltending game here where both goaltenders have sparkled, and I think this may be the game. Both Gilles Villemure in the net for the Rangers and Billy Smith in nets for the Islanders have really come up big here in the first period. Gloved hand grabs by both goaltenders. Smith in particular has really sparkled.
A freewheeling game up in Boston. After 2, Chicago leads 5-3. On the draw, Lewis around the boards to Bourne, trying to get it out. Bob having trouble. Puck is loose. Back to the right point. Harris can't keep it in. Gillies, Harris. And Harris is able to move Gillies out of the way. The puck is taken by Park. Park fighting with Burt Marshall. Marshall sends it to the Rangers' end. Villamure now stops the puck. Harris has it. Ron Harris for the Rangers leaves it for Kachuk. He lost it as Howard goes after him. Now Harris has it to center ice. Burt Marshall takes it. On the right wing, knocked down by Saint Laurent. Puck is still loose. Taken by Walt Kachuk. Up on the right wing. Good check on Fairburn. And the puck is sent into the Islanders' end. Stopped there by Marshall to Saint Laurent. Backhander hits the post. And the puck is in the corner to the right of Villamure, and we're going to have a face-off at that point. It's jammed.
Well, Gary Howard and Pete Stankowski start to do a little pushing and shoving. This game really hasn't resembled last night's game at all. It's been end-to-end action, and it's been good hockey, and the officials are in quickly to separate them. And Andre Saint Laurent showed us a nice move there as he deked a little bit, put the puck over on the backhand, and hit the outside of the bar. But it was a good move by Andre. Gilles Villamure played the angle well, and with 12:33 to go in the first period, Dom, we still have no score.
Ready to go now. The draw to the right of Villamure. And Saint Laurent leaves. It'll be Nystrom on the draw. Greshner's got it. Greshner with a puck goes cross ice to his left. To Marat to Stemkowski, center ice. On the right wing for Fairburn. The back pass is loose, taken by Urban. Urban ridden into the boards. And a penalty coming up now. Should be on Urban. Let's get the call. Let's see who it's called on, because Urban went after Howitt, and it's going to be on him. And Bruce Hood was standing right there, makes the call, and the official time is 7:46 of the first period. Ted Urban goes out now for 2 minutes for roughing.
Well, after last night, you hold your breath a little bit when that hand goes up, but as Dom called it, Irvin was roughing Gary Howitt, and Howitt, holding his composure, really didn't retaliate there. So Irvin gets the 2 minutes, and the Islanders get the first power play opportunity of the hockey game.
You have to hold your breath with Gary.
Gary hasn't held back very many times this year, but Tom, with the big money on the line tonight, with everything riding on this game, everybody will be on their best behavior.
Well, I hope it's a real good game. And the best team will end up winning. Saint Laurent across the line, left wing, the shot gloved by Villamure. Villamure sends it to the corner to the right. Ron Harris after it, digging in there, Saint Laurent, left point. Denny Potvin shoots. Deflection attempt goes wide. Butler has it, trying to get it out. Dennis again, shooting. Shot wide, it skipped wide of the net. And the puck is battled for. John Potvin to Nystrom. And Villamure moves it in the corner. Howard's got it. Gary trying to center it. He does, but Park is there, lost it, in the slot, clear. Could be a breakaway. Smith out of the net, knocks it away from Butler. No goaltender. The shot, Dennis Potvin gets back and blocks it. Dennis up on the left wing to Saint Laurent. Andre across the line, left wing, quick shot wide. Karam. Nystrom on the right wing with it. Back to the right point. Jean Potvin shoots it, goes up over the net. The Islanders now pressing, and Ron Harris clears. And the puck goes into the Islanders' end. We're under 50 seconds to go on the penalty now to Urban. 45 seconds. Islanders start back on the power play. Jean Potvin to Jude Druin. Jude with the puck to Jean Potvin. Shoots it in the Rangers' end. It's in back of the net. Villamure leaves it right there. Greshner fires it around the boards. Westfall keeps it in. Greshner again has it. Sends it around the boards. And it is cleared out to center ice. Racing for it, Dennis Potvin and Fairburn. Dennis with a great move and comes right back. Great move by Dennis. Down the middle. Right wing. To Druin, the shot. Up over the net. Trying to keep it in. Parise. JP does. JP left point. Dennis sticks back. The shot. Blocked. The shot. Blocked again. Parise's got it. Parise on that right wing. Again to Dennis. Again the shot. It's blocked. Greshner's got it. Both teams at full strength. 3-on-2. Greshner and an offside on the Rangers. There's a break of the action. 0-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Ever wonder what makes Schaefer the one beer to have when you're having more than one? One reason is more than one fermentation. Most brewers just ferment their beer once, but Schaefer is fermented twice. Once to make it beer, and twice to make it Schaefer. The one beer with flavor so fine, it keeps shining through, glass after frosty glass. More than one fermentation is one reason, but of course there's more than one reason behind the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
The Islanders and the Rangers, 0-0 here at Madison Square Garden. And on the 7th Avenue side, we've got Villemure. And on the 8th Avenue side, it's Billy Smith. Islanders moving from left to right. On the puck now. Saint Laurent across the line, right wing. Andre loses to Rattel. The puck is loose. On it now is Lewis. Lewis right back to Howard. Gary to Nystrom. Trying to get the shot off. He can't. And Park has the puck for the Rangers. Park coming back. And he's tied up by Nystrom. Good play. Lewis to Saint Laurent. He tips it to the Rangers line, and we got an offside pass. We're going to have a face-off between the left face-off circle and the Islanders line. 0-0, 9:45 to go first period.
Well, it's evident that Al Arbor and Bill Torrey got together with the New York Islanders and told them they're going to play positional hockey tonight. No more running around wildly. The Islanders are back to playing their game, and when the Islanders are on their game, it makes for a better night for your goaltender. He's protected more. The Islander defensemen, the forwards are forechecking and back-checking, and the Islanders are out to play their game tonight.
The puck is at center ice. Taken right there by Rod Gilbert. Gilbert with it. Gilbert has the puck. Sends it in the Islanders' end. Lewis after it dies. And back of the net, Rattel comes in after him to Druin. Jude with the puck across the mouth of the goal to Marshall. Burt now wheels around. The Rangers forechecking. Cross ice, Lewis. Lewis with a good move for Druin. It's behind him. Westfall trying to send in the Rangers' end. Stolen by Vickers down the middle to Rattel. Knocked away by Lewis. And Druin had the puck, lost it. Druin's pass intercepted Vickers. The shot, and it is gloved, dropped, smothered by Billy Smith. Face-off coming up on a very, very risky play as an errant pass went right on the stick of Vickers. Face-off to the right of Billy Smith.
Well, the Islanders have been clearing the puck by trying to hit a center, breaking down the middle. In that case, Jude Druin took a blind pass and attempted to flip it up the middle, and there was nobody there but a Ranger in a white jersey. And almost a giveaway there, deep in your own zone. It could have been disastrous, but Billy Smith was up to it and smothered the rebound.
Ready now for the draw. Centering pass is taken by Gillies, one-on-one with Greshner. Gillies coming in, the shot, knocked down, puck loose, and it is cleared away by Kachuk. Kachuk to center ice to Fairburn. Here comes Tullis along. The shot, a save and a beauty. Billy Smith with another great save. The Rangers with another breakaway. And Barat from the red line shoots into the corner to the left of Billy Smith. It's offside. And we've got a face-off coming up. And again, Billy Smith came way out. When Billy's coming way out, standing up, cutting the angle down, he's unbeatable, Jim.
Well, the Rangers are making use of the long pass, and they're head-manning that puck, and they're setting up 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. The Rangers have been trying to beat Billy with longer shots. Dom, I look for them to kind of come in, try to deke him and skate around him, because Billy is coming out. He's cutting down the angle. He's doing what he has to do. But you can't keep giving them these long passes, because pretty soon they're going to hurt you.
All set now for the draw. Billy Harris and Walt Kachuk. It goes to the Islanders line. Jerry Hart on it. His pass for Bourne is intercepted by Polis to Greshner down the middle. The shot caught in the midsection by Billy Smith. And again, we've got a face-off coming up to the left of Billy Smith and the New York Islanders end. 0-0, 8:24 to go, first period.
Well, Tom, when you think about pressure, and we know there's pressure on both clubs, you wonder whether it's the young club having the pressure on them or the veteran club, whom everybody expects to do well here tonight. I'd say there's pressure on both.
Fairburn shoots, knocked down in front by Dennis Potvin. Dennis has the puck, wheels one way, then another, sets up in back of the net, goes to his left to Jerry Hart. Jerry up on the left wing for Gillies, off the mark, taken by Greshner, who shoots it back of the Islanders' end. Dennis Potvin with the puck, in back of the net. Hart right back to Dennis. Dennis now starts out. Up on the left wing for Gillies, off the mark. Greshner with the puck, knocked off his stick. And Kachuk sends the back pass to Greshner. To center ice on the left wing, Polish down the middle. The shot, stick save by Dennis Potvin. We got a penalty coming up for interference. And it'll be on the Islanders. There's a break in the action. Nothing. We'll be back in a moment.
But I can't begin without you, because without you, I don't have a show. Call me Monday through Saturday beginning at 12:15 at 489-1155.
.12:17, the official time on the interference call to Clark Gillies. Rangers now with a power play. Billy Smith makes the save off the face-off. Lewis having trouble with it, and he gets it back to Park, who tries to get the shot off. Park keeps it in. He's at the left point. Lauren Henning after him. Park with a good move now. Out front, Gilbert shooting. Wide. Park at the left point shoots. Knocked down. Loose. Lewis after it. Battle for. Sends it back to the right point. Gilbert with it out front. Blocked by Lewis to Westfall. Eddie on the left wing to Lauren Henning, and Gilbert gets it back. Gilbert leads it for Park, who sets up for the Rangers. In his own end, on the right wing, it goes to Gilbert, right back to Middleton, and Lewis holds him up to Rattel. Vickers, great save by Billy Smith. Vickers was in alone, and Billy Smith made a beautiful save, broke his stick in half, and gets back up.
Well, Billy Smith made a tremendous play there, Don. He felt for the post, as a goaltender will do, and in feeling for the post, he broke his goal stick. With the stick laying on the ice and Vickers in again on the breakaway, using nothing but his pads in his hands, he managed to hold Vickers off. So Billy certainly had a first period to remember.
Just great goaltending tonight. Smitty has been tested much more than Gilles Villemure, but when he's been tested, he's done the job. And Billy Smith not only stops this one, clears it all the way to the Rangers' end. On the puck now is Gilbert. We've got a minute to go on the penalty. Gilbert bringing it out. Right wing to Rattel, who can fly. On the right wing, Middleton. Middleton centering pass. Lewis knocks it away. Gilbert keeping it in. Stopped by Henning, and he clears. And we're down to 45 seconds on the penalty. To Clark Gillies, who's out. At 12:37 for interference. Park at his own line to Rattel. Rattel knocked off his stick. Vickers has it offside on the Rangers. And we have 34 seconds to go on the penalty to Clark Gillies. Nothing. 6:17 to go, first period.
Well, the Islanders are keeping the Rangers from setting up in their own zone, and when the Rangers set up in your zone, they're dangerous. Steve Vickers, of course, perhaps the most dangerous marksman, parking himself on the left corner. Ricky Middleton playing over there on the right wing, also dangerous. Emil the Cat has put Rod Gilbert out on the point with Brad Park, so there's a lot of firepower on this Ranger power play with Rattel at center.
They have one of the best of the National Hockey League. Jerry Hart trying to get it out. It deflects. It's loose. Rattel's got it to Middleton. Right out front. Knocked away by Smith. Eddie Westfall there. Eddie with it now. Left wing for Henning. It's under his stick. 15 seconds on the penalty. On the puck now is Gilbert in his own end. Rod Gilbert coming out. On the left wing it goes to Park. We're under 8 seconds to go. Park coming down the middle. Park down the middle to Gilbert. Knocked off his stick. Dennis Potvin with it. Time up on the penalty. Both teams are at full strength. And the puck is called for stoppage and play in the corner to the right of Billy Smith. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. The score 0-0. This is New York Islanders hockey.
This is WMCA New York. Hi, I'm John Sterling. Evening time means sports time on WMCA. I'll be here Monday through Friday from 7 till 10.
Ready for the draw to the right of Billy Smith. Back to the left point, kept in by Marat. In back of the net, the puck in back of Dennis Potvin. He didn't see it. Irvin trying to get at it. He can't. It's frozen against the boards, and we'll have another face-off at the same spot. 5.5 minutes to go, first period, 0-0.
Well, Joe Marat has certainly been one of the Ranger harder hitters here in the series. He put Billy Harris over on the players' bench earlier, and they threw her off from the crowd, but it was a hard, clean check by Gilles Marat, who's built like a fire plug and hits like a truck.
The draw right to Billy Smith, stops it to Dennis Potvin around the boards. Greshner holds it in. The shot from the right wing by Butler is wide around the boards. Nystrom's got it. Bob back. Quick shot. Score! No, it hit the post and came out. I don't believe it. It went in and out. Everybody's wondering what happened. It hit the bar and came right back out. It looked like it was in. Tough break. Irvin back. Left wing. The shot wide. Karam around the boards. Taken by Nystrom. Trying to get it out. He does. Center ice. Stemkowski goes down. Incredible how that didn't go in. Marat, down the middle he goes. For Butler, knocked away. On the puck now is McMillan. McMillan fights with Greshner, knocks him down. Jerry Hart's got the puck. Hart to Nystrom right at the red line. Nystrom, quick drilling shot knocked down by Villamure. He leaves it for Sanderson. Sanderson around the boards for Fairburn. Fairburn coming back, and Saint Laurent rides him off. Back comes Lewis. Lost the puck as he swung and missed. Taken by Marat. Marat to Fairburn, the shot. Gillies gets it out to center ice. Fairburn has 9 lifetime goals against the Islanders, the best for the Rangers. Lewis sends the puck in back of the net. Taken by Bert Marshall to Bourne. Bourne coming out. Bourne center ice. On the left wing, Gillies shoots. Goal! And it's 1-0 Islanders. The official time, 16 minutes of the first period, and there was no question on that one, Jim.
Well, the Islanders had a mixed line out there as Bobby Nystrom on the right wing never got off. Bobby Bourne, the Islanders' fastest skater, sped to center, came in over the line, has the 2 defensemen, Park and Harris, converged on Bourne. Bourne just simply slid it over on the left wing, and Clark Gillies banged it home. That coming right on the heels of a shot by Nystrom and hit the post. Certainly the Islanders had reason there to fret, and no, they came right back and scored. And the first goal of the game goes to the Islanders with 4 minutes to play in the period.
Ready now for the draw. After the goal, goes to Bert Marshall, goes to his left to Lewis, back to Marshall. Marshall at center ice, shoots in the corner to the left of Villamure. It rolls to the corner to the right of Villamure. Both Bourne and Marshall get assists of the goal by Gillies. Sanderson center ice. Sanderson a shot, a save by Billy Smith. Billy moves it him back. Lewis is there. Started to the right, goes back to the left. His pass off the stick of Gillies to center ice. Ron Harris has it. Billy Harris out to him. To the Islanders line, knocked away by Lewis. Brad Park is on it in his own zone. Goes cross ice to Ron Harris. To Kachuk, knocked away. Back on it is Ron Harris. On the left wing for Sanderson, back to Kachuk. The drop pass, Fairburn to Park. The shot bounces off of Bert Marshall, and Billy Harris has it and clears it the full length of the ice. It goes in the corner to the right of Villamure, and it'll be icing. 1-0. The Islanders are out front on the second playoff goal of the season for Clark Gillies from Bob Bourne, Bert Marshall. 16 minutes, the official time of the goal.
Well, Islanders in both games have scored by splitting the defense. I think the Rangers were very conscious of that as Bobby Bourne sped to center. Both Harris and Park closed on him, and that left Clark Gillies a lot of room on the wing, and Gillies drilled it home. It's the ability to use that good speed that Bobby Bourne has that forces the defenseman to close and opens up your wingers.
And I tell you, Jim, as you and I have talked, when he really learns how to harness that speed, he's going to be something else.
Well, I think Bobby will have a good summer weightlifting program, get himself strengthened up, and be a real fine prospect next year.
He's 6'3", close around 200, and of course he can be a lot heavier, as Jim said, and that's what the Islanders plan to do with him. Ready now for the draw to the right of Billy Smith, Rattel, and Eddie Westfall. A couple of old pros that have been at it for a while. The draw, battled for, and cleared out to center ice and keeps rolling into the Rangers' end. Greshner there, it's icing once again. And with 2:48 to go here in the first period, the Islanders are out front 1-0.
Eddie Westfall did not mean to ice that puck. Trying to use an angle to slide the puck down in the Rangers' zone, he caught a good live board, and the board actually catapulted that puck over the line. Rattel's been dynamite on face-offs in the series, Dom, and he wins another.
Vickers with the puck. Right out front. Gilbert shoots. Blocked by Hart. And back comes Druin. 3-on-2. Jude down the middle. Jude for Westfall. And caroms off of Marat behind him. Hart, left point. Sends it in the corner. Parise to Denny Potvin. The shot wide. The carom is loose. Eddie Westfall out front. Unable to get the shot off was Druin in the slot. He was held up by Greshner. And the puck is at center ice. Rattel across the line, down the middle. Rattel shooting. Beautiful save by Billy Smith, who's on his knees going to his right as it was juggling in his glove. Face off to the right of Billy Smith at the Islanders' end.
The Madison Square Garden building, Dom, doesn't, like some arenas around the NHL, keep a running tabulation on shots taken. But I can assure everybody out there that Billy Smith has been well tested in the first period, and he stood up to everything the Rangers have thrown at him. They've had breakaways, they've had close-in drives, and they've had deflections, and Billy's been tough.
On the draw, Don Laurent moves it in the corner. Bert Marshall to Lewis, right back to Bert. Bert has the puck now. Cuts in front of his own net. Up to Nystrom. Nystrom gets it out to center ice. Taken by Don Laurent. Andre, right wing. The shot wide. Or he would have had a goal because Villemure lost it. Lewis moves it to Villemure, taken by Ron Harris. And Howard goes out to him. And the puck is brought back out by Urban. He shoots wide. After the puck is Nystrom. Battle for Urban in there. Stemkowski after it. Lewis has it. Lewis with the puck. Sends it around the boards to Henning. Lauren getting it out up on the left wing to Howard. Howard on the right wing. Nystrom. Nystrom has the puck. Cross the line, left wing. Sends it in the corner. Harris went after him. He moves him out of the way. Brad Park trying to get it out. Howard after him. It's to the corner to the left of Villemure. The Islanders now picking up some of the pressure to center ice for Urban. Urban after the puck. And it's for Stemkowski. The shot partially blocked. Ricochets to center ice on a crazy bounce. And Lauren Henning lost his helmet. Lauren has the puck, center ice. Lauren down the middle, left wing. Howard shoots, and it is blocked by Ron Harris up into the crowd. And with 49 seconds to play here in the first period, the Islanders lead 1-0.
Making his first appearance for the Rangers during that last shift was Jerry Butler. Jerry played a fine game last night, did a lot of hitting, got a big goal and a breakaway, and Jerry was not getting too much ice, but Jerry was teamed with Peter Stemkowski and got on ice for the first time with 49 seconds to go in the first period.
The face-off to the right of Villemure in the Rangers' end. Puck just about moving. Hart coming in to try to keep it in the zone. He does. After it now is Bourne and Kachuk go at it. And Bob in there kicking at it. And we're going to have a face-off, and it'll be outside because Bobby Bourne tried to freeze it, which he did. So the call was a good one. Face-off outside the Rangers line. Neutral zone, center ice. 36 seconds to play, first period, 1-0 Islanders.
Well, Bobby's had that happen to him now 2 or 3 times, Dom, in this series. He's been freezing the puck when he really should be trying to play the puck. That's where inexperience comes in.
On the draw, it goes to Greshner to Marat. Marat brings it out. 30 seconds to go in the period. Hard drive and knocked down by Billy Smith. Leaves it for Jerry Hart. Jerry Hart with the puck. Hart now up on the left wing. Gillies trying to get it out. He does. Race for the puck. Villemure way out of the net, lets it go for Marat, and he fires it around the boards. Billy Harris stops it to Denny Potvin. Dennis keeps it in. On the puck, Harris for Gillies, knocked away by Greshner. Up on the right wing, and it's at center ice, and that's going to do it. And that's the end of the first period, and at the end of the first period, the New York Islanders lead 1-0.
Have you heard about the unbelievable new car for 1975? It's the Pacer from AMC. Hi, this is Dom Valentino, and when I say unbelievable, here's what I mean. Imagine a car that's wider than a Chevelle, smaller than a Vega, has more interior room, then cars a lot larger, looks a little like a second cousin to a Porsche, and has features that make it the most unusual car on the road today. Now you're just beginning to find out about the Pacer. And when you go to Manhattan American, they'll show you how you can get a deal on this great car from AMC. How you can be dollars ahead of the game and get a car that delivers economy without sacrificing performance. Go on in and see the Pacer, test drive the Pacer, and talk to Manhattan American about dollars. If it's something extra you want in the way of a car, it's the Pacer. For something extra in the way you'll save money and be treated, it's Manhattan American Motors.
The people of Eastern believe they're going to make your next Eastern flight a great flight.
We're going to do more than just get you there. We're going to take good care of you all the way.
Your trip's important to you, so I make it important to me.
When you fly with Eastern, you're going to take it easy because we're going to make it easy.
You've got to believe.
We're going to make you feel at home. You got to believe. You got to believe.
If you're flying to New Orleans or Houston, Eastern has daily nonstop service to both cities, including the most daily nonstops to Houston. Eastern also has the only nonstop money-saving night coach to Houston, which can save you about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. Most flights to Houston and New Orleans feature Eastern's comfortable 727 Whisperjet with spacious redesigned interiors. For reservations, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
At the end of the first period, the New York Islanders are out front 1-0 on Clark Gillies' second playoff goal from Bob Bourne and Bert Marshall at 16 minutes. The Rangers outshot the Islanders 15-8 in the first period. Billy Smith was just simply sensational, and it looks like it's going to take sensational goaltending here tonight at both ends of the ice. The Islanders are out front 1-0. Intermission highlights are next on New York Islanders hockey. We'll be back in a moment.
Now here's a word from America's oldest lager beer.
One beer to have when you're having more than one.
Did you know that the Schaefer people are the oldest and most experienced lager brewers in America? It takes experience to brew any fine beer, but it's taken a little bit more experience to brew Schaefer, the one beer fine enough to give you flavor that never fades. And if you'd like to experience the result of all that brewing experience, all you got to do is give a couple of frosty cold Schaefers a try.
One more time. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
This is Jim Garvey, and my guest during the intermission tonight is Miss Laura Stamm. And Laura is renowned for developing a new skating style known as power skating. We'll speak about power skating, Laura, and hockey. And Laura, it's a pleasure to welcome you tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight, Jim.
Laura, what is power skating?
Well, power skating to me, although the word power skating connotes, power and speed, it is power and speed, but it means a lot of things. It means all those things that make one a better skater on the ice and therefore a better hockey player. It means better balance, for one thing, better agility and maneuverability on the ice, better use of the edges of your skate, better stride, a more efficient stride, better backward skating. In other words, it encompasses a great deal of different aspects of skating to go and to make you a better hockey player.
Well, in case those of us in the audience feel that we've seen the name Laura Stamm somewhere, we probably have, because I've seen in print, and I know I've spoken to, a fellow on the Islanders who has actually worked with you, and in doing so, I know has improved not only his skating, but I don't know if you're a shooting instructor as well, but he's improved his shooting, because he led the Islanders in scoring, and you might want to talk about your friend Bobby Nystrom.
Well, I saw Bob Nystrom the other night, and I was really thrilled to watch him skate because the improvement that I've seen and the difference that it shows is incredible. Bob, when I first worked with him a couple of years ago, was very insecure, I think, in his own feeling about his skating. He knew that it was his weak point, and he wanted so much to improve it. And I feel kind of proud. I think that he really has improved his skating, and I know that in the game of hockey, when your skating improves, everything else improves also. So, no, I'm not a shooting instructor or anything, but I think that his better balance and everything else about his skating that's better has helped his hockey in general.
Well, it certainly helped his confidence, and I know Bob has been kidded a little bit by me about having a female coach, but I know it doesn't bother him, and I think personally that it's great, and I think that any people out there who may have perhaps had the opportunity to get instruction and perhaps gone into a rink and seen a female instructor there and said, well, perhaps this isn't for me, better sit up and take notice, because I know professional hockey never lets an opportunity go by when they see a fellow on the ice who needs a little skating to use a person like yourself. I know in addition to Bob, you've worked with a fellow over in the World Hockey Association who had a great season. That's Gene Peacock.
Yes, Gene is doing really well. I worked with the entire New York Golden Blade team when they were in New York before they went to San Diego. So I worked with everybody on the team, and Gene was completely enthralled with it. He thought that it helped him so immensely, and he really helped me a lot in getting me out to other hockey schools in Canada because he thought it was such a terrific program.
Well, Laura, have you done any writing? I know this is a topic that I think a lot of people, including myself as a novice skater, really are interested in, and you had spoken to me briefly, and I thought perhaps you were going to do a book on it.
Yes, I'm in the process now of writing a book on how to skate the hockey way, which I'm hoping to get published sometime this fall. And I have written articles for different magazines on the topic of power skating, on proper stride and better balance, better backward skating, and that kind of thing.
How important is the skate, the actual purchase of the skate, to the young person learning and developing his skating?
You can't stress enough how important a good skate is. Not only the make of the skate, in that it's a solid construction, but in the fit of the skate. So many parents, in an attempt to economize, and hope that their kids will grow into a skate in a year or two, will go out and buy something that's too big for the kid. And this is the worst thing that somebody can do, because then the ankles cave in and the feet hurt, and all the problems with ankles really stem from the fact that the skate is either poor quality or poor fit.
Laura, is there an age that's really the proper age for one to begin skating, or can a person almost as soon as they walk begin to skate?
Well, I think a youngster, even, as you say, beginning to walk, can get on skates. Not that they're going to really learn how to skate at that age, but they can become familiar with the ice and learn to feel comfortable on the ice. But when a fellow or a girl, too, when they're of the age of 5 and 6, that's the time when their legs are beginning to develop to a point where they're getting strong enough to start to learn how to push on the ice. And if you start young in anything, you have a jump over everybody else.
There's no question there. I'd like to strongly urge the parents out there who may perhaps be thinking of something for their youngsters to do this summer that might be worthwhile, strongly consider that they look in their local newspapers and magazines, and when they see opportunities to engage Laura Stamm in her power skating course, certainly avail themselves to it. I know that professional training, be it in golf, tennis, or ice skating, is certainly essential. I know that many young people pride themselves in having taught themselves, but having myself done it the hard way and in golf gotten a little instruction, I can attest to the fact that a little instruction and hard practice will really do a lot more good than just many, many hours of repeating the same errors over and over. Laura, do you agree?
Oh, I definitely agree, because unless you're shown how to do it the right way, you don't know what your errors are. And so you're building in habits that may take years to break. And, those may be the wrong habits. If you're lucky, like Bobby Orr, who, of course, is self-taught, I'm sure, then, he just came out lucky. He came out knowing how to do it right. But most of us don't do it that way. We learn and we get our errors. So it's really important to be taught the right way.
Well, out here in this hockey game tonight with the Rangers and the Islanders, there may be 1 in a million Bobby Orrs, but most of the guys out there have developed their skating styles through long, arduous practice sessions. And again, we want to thank you, Laura, for being with us, and urge everyone to sharpen up your skating this summer, engage in power skating. New York Islander action is next. We'll be back in a moment.
During the week of February 17th, something happened in the gasoline business that everyone who drives a car should know about. A survey was taken of the prices of premium gasoline. The survey covered hundreds of service stations in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and other metropolitan areas. Almost all the major oil companies were included. If you buy gasoline by price in your neighborhood, you can probably guess the results. On an average, Getty Premium sold from 2 to 2.5 cents less per gallon than most other major premiums. So if you want more gas for your money and more miles for your money, pull into Getty. Remember, don't waste gasoline. But when you do drive, fill up with Getty. No lead for cars built after 1971, premium for cars built before 1971. Getty, We've got what's best for your car and for you.
Mail call. Oh, there's lots of mail today, honey. Your magazine, my magazine. Your bank statement, my bank tax statement.
Still only paying $2.50 a month at European American?
Nope.
I knew it.
Now I pay only $1.50.
That's less. Then you must be getting less.
Nope. I still get unlimited checking, free personalized checks, a free safe deposit box, and lots more. Why, I even qualified for preferred loan rates.
All that for just $1.50? That's less than I pay for checks alone.
It's new. I just keep our $1,000 in a European American savings account. Our savings earn the highest interest the law allows.
And you get bank pack for just $1.50 a month?
Mm-hmm. And if we kept as little as $500 in a European American savings account, I'd pay just $2 a month for bank pack and still get interest on our savings.
Bank pack for less than $2.50 a month. Hey, maybe I should switch.
Okay. You cook tonight.
European American. We've made a commitment to bring you better banking. Member FD.
Rangers no score. Our guest during the first intermission, Laura Stamm, receives a gift certificate for dinner for two at Billy Paul's Salty Dog Restaurant, 1166 Hempstead Turnpike across from the Coliseum. The Salty Dog specializes in steaks and seafood, and dining in their delightful upstairs aquarium dining room makes eating a unique pleasure. Well, it's an entirely different hockey game tonight. From the one we saw last night, the brawling, the fighting is not been repeated. In fact, in the first period, we had only 2 penalties called. Bruce Hood fingering Ted Urban for roughing at 7:46 and Clark Gillies for interference at 12:17. Both the Islanders and the Rangers successfully killed off those penalties, and I guess the story in the first period will have to be Billy Smith of the New York Islanders in goal. Shots on goal in the first period for the New York Rangers, 15, and for the Islanders, 8. And many of those 15 shots that were taken on Billy Smith were close-in drives. In fact, 3 or 4 came on breakaways, and Billy was up to all of them. Another key ingredient in tonight's 1-0 score here after one period has been the ability of the Islanders to control face-offs, especially in their own end. In the first 2 games of the series, the New York Rangers completely dominated this statistic, which often doesn't reach the fan. But people in the know in hockey games are always looking at face-offs, because when you control the puck, you're controlling the game. In the first period, there were 20 face-offs taken. The Rangers controlled 9 and the Islanders 11. If the Islanders can hold their own on face-offs, they stand a good chance in this hockey game. In another semifinal series, the big upset up in Boston taking place with 10 minutes to go in the third period. It's the Chicago Blackhawks 6 and the Boston Bruins 3. Now this upset, if should it come to pass, has some implications for Islander fans. If the Islanders were to hang on and win this hockey game tonight and Toronto were to defeat L.A., that would pit the New York Islanders with the Pittsburgh Penguins in the next series. Of course, we have a lot of presumptions here, and we really don't want to get into it. While I have a moment, we'd like to remind everybody that Bill Torrey, our pregame guest, receives dinner for two at the Ginger Man, located right across from the Lincoln Center in New York at 51 West 54th Street, right in the heart of the entertainment district. So the Ginger Man for Bill Torrey and the Salty Dog for Laura Stamm. And now the Rangers have come on ice. The Islanders have not yet made their appearance. And the score again, for those who might have tuned in late, after one period of play, it's the New York Islanders 1 and the New York Rangers no score. The Islander goal came at the 16-minute mark of the first period, and it was scored by Clark Gillies, his second goal in the playoffs, both scored here in Madison Square Garden. Bert Marshall picked up an assist along with Bobby Bourne. Bobby, the guy who made the play, picking up the puck at center, coming in over the line, drawing Brad Park and Ron Harris to him, sliding the puck to Gillies on his left, and Gillies beating Gilles Villemure. Just before the goal by Gillies, the Islanders had another good opportunity when Bobby Nystrom, steaming down the right board, let go a drive which either caught Villemure a little bit by surprise, or Villemure perhaps was screened, because Gilles made no move at the puck. The puck got by him and hit the crossbar and bounced out. Actually, it was on the ensuing rush the Islanders picked up their goal. Although the Islanders are leading in the hockey game 1-0, the Rangers, as we said, had great chances on the net. Billy Smith had to come up big on numerous occasions. The Islanders are going to have to just tighten up, protect against the long pass, and continue to check and play their positions. Tom, both teams are on ice. Jean Rattel, who has to be considered, I guess, the star of the playoffs so far, skates to center ice along with Jules Drouin, and as Bruce Hood steps into the faceoff, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jim. And Jean Rattel was great last night, as was Steve Vickers. We're ready to go. Second period. The draw taken by Gilbert. The back pass to Park. Cross ice Harris. Ron Harris moves it out to Rattel, intercepted by Druin. Jude has it up ahead to Westfall. Eddie left wing. Parise. Drop pass. Lewis shoots. Deflection attempt wide. Backhander. Up over the net by Parise. And Bruce Hood ends up on the seat of his pants. Ron Harris is down on the corner to the left of Villemure. And now Villemure gets up.
Well, Dom, that looked like a Keystone Comedy act with Bruce Hood sailing over Ron Harris and Gilles Villemure getting up slowly. But I'm very concerned for the health of Gilles Villemure. I walked up with him, as we said last night, out of Madison Square Garden, Jill and his wife, and Jill was having great difficulty just negotiating the stairs in the Coliseum. I know Bruce Hood has been over to talk to him. I know he's playing in pain, and he's a gutty little guy, and he's playing a great hockey game.
He's a tremendous goaltender. He showed it last night when it counted. Gilbert with the puck. Center ice. On the right wing. And Rattel pushed away. Taken by Lewis. Lewis coming back. And Rattel steals the puck. Bruin drives him on the boards, and Lewis has got it back to Parise. Parise center ice. JP across the line, left wing. Westfall to Bruin. Jude collects. Right wing, the shot. Blocked. Taken by Park. To Vickers. On the left wing, behind Gilbert, it's offside. Face off in the neutral zone at center ice, outside the Islanders' line. 1-0 Islanders.
Well, the first minute of the second period showed a little more freewheeling action with both sides opening up just a little bit. Emil the Cat has told his Rangers in the locker room that unless you win today, there's no tomorrow, and the Rangers coming out putting on pressure. Walt Tkachuk is now out to replace Rattel, and his combination is on for the Rangers.
On the draw, taken by Jerry Hart. Cross ice it goes to Denny Potvin to Bourne. Knocked away. Dennis back on it. Dennis gets it up to Harris. Billy Harris knocked down. The puck is loose. Sanderson trying to move it across the line. He does. And it is taken by Bourne. Bourne flying across the line. Left wing. Gillies shot wide. The puck was deflected just enough so that Gillies couldn't get the shot off. And the Rangers start back. Harris cross ice for Sanderson, who gets it out to center ice. Hard after the puck, knocks it away from Fairburn. Collected by Billy Harris. Billy moves it in across the line. He and Sanderson after the puck. And they bang hard into the boards. And the puck is taken for the Rangers by Greshner. Knocked off his stick by Gillies. Harris after it. Billy Harris knocked down. We have a broken stick out of the ice. Down goes Greshner. Saint Laurent on top of him. Back come the Rangers. Tkachuk with it. Walt Tkachuk at center ice on the left wing. And a good check by Hart on Tkachuk. And the puck is taken by Dennis Potvin to Saint Laurent. Andre, centering pass. Deflected wide. Gillies after it. It's hit around the boards. Fairburn trying to get it out. Kept in by Jerry Hart. Greshner moves it to Fairburn. And again, Jerry Hart moves him away. And the puck is at center ice. Taken by Tkachuk. Tkachuk down the middle. Tkachuk with a puck on the right wing. Drop past Anderson, the shot. Pickup save by Billy Smith. Face-off coming to the left of Billy and the Islanders end. There's a break in the action. 1-0 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
If you're flying to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you got to believe Eastern can save you money. Eastern has 6 night coach flights to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, more than any other airline that saves you about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. And you can fly to Miami, Fort Lauderdale on Eastern 727 Whisper jets with spacious redesigned interiors or on the wide-body L1011 Whisper liners. For reservation, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the Wings of Man.
The draw kept in by Butler. It's in back of the Islanders' net. Lewis around the boards to Nystrom trying to get it out. And it is called for a face-off. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. Islanders lead 1-0. This is New York Islanders hockey.
Hi, I'm Ken Fairchild, inviting you to join me mornings on WMCA, 6 to 10 a.m., Monday through Saturday.
A battle for that puck. Centering pass taken by Saint Laurent. 2-on-1. Harris in the middle. Andre shoots. And hits the post and comes out to center ice. Butler with it. Moves it across the line, right wing. Down the middle, knocked away by Nystrom. Nystrom comes roaring back for the Islanders. He's at center ice, shoots it in the corner, let to Villemure. Villemure moves it away from Howard. It's up on the left wing, collected for the Rangers by Butler. Down the middle, drop pass, Butler shooting, glove save, Smith, knocked away. Bruins got it. Jude coming back. Right wing, Nystrom across the line, drop pass, Bruin to Nystrom. Nystrom out front, knocked away. Puck is loosened back of the net. Howard after it. Ron Harris has it. And a penalty coming up on Howard as he dragged Ron Harris down. So Gary will go out now for 2 minutes. The official time on the penalty is 3:36 of the second period. The Islanders are leading 1-0, but now they're going to have to play shorthanded. It'll be holding on Gary Howard. Face off outside the Rangers line of the neutral zone at center right.
Well, there's no question about the foul, Dom, but we ought to dwell just for a moment on the play which preceded it. Nystrom with a pass out to Saint Laurent, who came down 2-on-1 with Gary Howard. Andre using Howard as a decoy, let one go, beat Villemure cleanly, and again hit the goal post. The Islanders now have 2 solid goal posts, and hockey's a game of inches.
All right, we're ready now for the draw. The Islanders shorthanded once again now for 2 minutes. They lead in the hockey game 1-0. Eddie Westfall and Lauren Henning are the penalty killers. Dennis Potvin, Jerry Hart. The power play for the Rangers, one of the best in the National Hockey League. Brad Park at 1 point with Rod Gilbert. Billy Fairburn, who has 9 lifetime goals against the Islanders with Rattel and Vickers. Fairburn with a puck across the line, right wing to Rattel. Rattel knocked off his stick. Westfall's got it. Eddie trying to clear it. Banks it out to center ice. Fairburn on the puck. The back pass to Gilbert. 16 minutes to go, second period. The Islanders lead 1-0 to Park. Up on the left wing to Vickers, right back to Rattel. Rattel down the middle. Right wing Fairburn. The shot blocked by Jerry Hart. And Fairburn is back on the puck. To Park. The shot deflected wide. Vickers has the puck. Back to the left point. Park. In the corner it goes to Vickers out front. Knocked away from Gilbert. And the beauty. And the puck is taken by Westfall. Eddie out. Left wing. Center ice. Westfall wheels. Back pass to Jerry Hart. We're down to a minute to go on the penalty. To Dennis Potvin. To Westfall. Eddie gets it to the Rangers line. 55 seconds on the penalty. Back come the Rangers and Gilbert. To Rattel down the middle. Drop pass to Park. Right wing Gilbert. Slides it on the right wing to Fairburn. Back to Gilbert to Park. In the slot. Rattel backhander saved by Billy Smith. 35 seconds on the penalty. Eddie Westfall trying to clear. It's kept in by Gilbert. To Park. To Vickers. Shot. Right. Saved by Billy Smith.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Here we go. And we're going to have a minor draw, but the officials come right in. A lot of bumping and shoving in there. 28 seconds to go on the penalty. Oh, what a save by Billy Smith.
Well, Billy Smith has just been fantastic. You can tell Billy's concentrating on hockey because, here goes Gilbert and Jerry Hart now. Starting to push and shove, and now Jean Rattel, which you never see, starts to throw something in there. And Jerry Hart is being held off by Neil Armstrong. I don't think we're going to have much more than a lot of pushing and shoving here, Dom, but Billy Smith, you can tell, has come to play because he's just sitting right in that crease thinking about nothing but hockey. And when Billy's doing that, you know he's sharp. Well, let's see what Hood's going to call here as he skates slowly to the box.
28 seconds to go on the penalty. That's the key factor here. To Gary Howard. Billy Fairburn goes out.
Dennis Potvin looks like he's going to go as well.
Dennis Potvin will go also. So the two of them who got embroiled will go out. The official time now is 5 minutes and 8 seconds of the period, and we'll get the calls now. The situation will be Fairburn goes out.
Dennis Potvin looks like he's going to go as well.
Dennis Potvin will go also. So the two of them who got embroiled will go out. The official time now is 5 minutes and 8 seconds of the period, and we'll get the calls now. The situation will be 4-on-3 for 28 seconds.
Well, Don, this is no way an advantage.
Now, wait a minute, Jim. Charging to both. So Fairburn and Dennis Potvin go out.
Well, what I was going to say, Dom, is that this is not an advantage because now the Islanders will be playing 3 against 4, which is probably a more difficult situation than 5 against 4. 4 against 3 is a lot more difficult. In addition, the Islanders' best defenseman is sitting in the penalty box.
The Islanders had a lot of practice with it last night, Jim. Face off to the left of Billy Smith. Lewis after the puck trying to clear it. He can't. Park keeps it in. Park to Gilbert. Gilbert with a puck. Moves it along the boards to Rattel to Gilbert. The shot blocked. Westfall clears. And it goes the full length of the ice. Villemure out of the net. Islanders trying to kill off the penalty. We've got 5 seconds on the penalty. Park, Gilbert. Gilbert right wing. Gilbert with a puck along the boards. The centering pass knocked away by Smith. It's in the corner. Time up on the penalty to Howard. Both teams at full strength, and the puck is cleared. Racing for it now is Park. And it'll be icing. There's a break in the action. 1-0 Islanders. Will be back in a moment.
Just in case you've wondered why, Schaefer is the more than one beer. Just plain more experience is part of it. It takes experience to make any beer. But it's taken 2 centuries of brewing experience to make Schaefer. You see, more experience helps give Schaefer that special something more. That smooth, mellow flavor that keeps coming on beer after frosty beer. More experience is one reason. But, of course, there's more than one reason behind the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
All right, we're now 4-on-4 equal strength. And, of course, the minute a man is eliminated on either side or both, it opens up the game. And then you get down to skating with each other. 14:08 to go in the second period. On the draw, the puck loose. Polish shoots, blocked by Lewis. Up on the right wing, it goes to Harris. Billy Harris with it. Cross ice on the left to Bert Marshall. Back to Harris. Billy out. Center ice. Harris has the puck knocked off his stick by Marat to Sanderson. He loses. Greshner has it at center ice. Greshner across the line, down the middle. Greshner with the puck goes to the left point. His pass blocked by Marshall. Greshner back on it. Marshall moves it out to center ice. Penalty coming up on Greshner. The Islanders pull their goalie. Harris coming in. The shot blocked. Billy back on it. Billy knocked down. And we got a penalty coming up for tripping is the call. The official time will be 6:30 of the second period. Ron Greshner for tripping. The Islanders now will have a man advantage. We have 38 seconds to go on the penalties to Billy Fairburn and Dennis Potvin. And Ron Greshner now goes out at 6:30 for tripping.
Well, Don, we have the situations here reversed. Just a short while ago, it was the Rangers playing 4-on-3 with the Islanders, and now with 38 seconds to go on the penalties to Fairburn and Potvin, it'll be the Islanders playing 4-on-3. And 4-on-3s and 5-on-4s, 5-on-3s, as you said, open up the ice. Certainly makes for a more exciting hockey if you're a hockey fan, but doesn't do much for coaches Al Arbor and Emil Francis.
I want to remind you now, the winner of this game, as we gave you some possibilities before, will be playing Sunday either in Buffalo, Montreal, or Pittsburgh, depending on who wins in this first round. Face off to the left of Villemure. On the draw, Billy Harris, right point. Sanderson intercepts. Sanderson with a puck to Ron Harris. To Sanderson, back to Harris. Intercepted by Billy Harris. 2-on-1. Billy, he's knocked down, and it's an offside on the Islanders. Face off in the center ice zone outside the Rangers line.
Well, that was a big offside call because had the offside not been called, perhaps a tripping call might have been in order. As Billy Harris came over the line, he was tripped up by Marat, but the offside, which preceded the foul, takes precedence there, and the offside stands. Again, a good break for the Islanders, which they don't capitalize on.
The Islanders with a man advantage, 4-on-3. In 24 seconds, it'll be 5-on-4. Billy Fairburn, Dennis Potvin in the penalty box. 1-0 the Islanders lead on the first period goal. That has been the difference so far by Gillies. On the draw, Parise around the boards. Harris trying to get it out, and Sanderson does get it out. Into the Islanders' end. Stopped by Billy Smith. Billy leads it in back, collected by Jean Potvin. Jean coming back. Jean center ice. Jean Potvin left wing. Parise back to Jean. Jean Potvin right point. Bruin stick back the shot. Skips up into the crowd. And we're going to have a face-off coming up. We're down at 9 seconds on the penalty to Billy Fairburn and to Dennis Potvin. The Islanders with a man advantage, a 4-on-3 situation, and we still have 1:31 to go on the penalty to Gresham.
Well, Don, you see a classic difference here in the styles of the two clubs. When the Rangers get the power play, they move the puck looking for a close-in shot. We've seen the Islanders throughout this series when they've been up on the power play, content to take the long point shot, which I think, frankly, plays into the hands of your opponent. When you have that 4-on-3 situation, what you want to do is move it in.
The clock, evidently, Jim, has gone awry, and it's been wound down. The penalties now have concluded on Billy Fairburn of the Rangers and Dennis Potvin of the Islanders. So we go to a 5-on-4 situation. And Ron Greshner now is still in the penalty box. He's got 1:21 seconds to go on his penalty. So the Islanders end up with a man advantage anyway. The face-off now outside the Rangers line, neutral zone at center right.
And that puts Dennis Potvin out on the point where he can really do damage. So this here with 1:21 to go, the Islanders have a good opportunity to set it up. One change in the power play. Billy Harris has been inserted on right wing with Parise and Jude Druin, and Eddie Westfall sitting.
Ready now for the face-off. Sanderson and Jude Druin on the draw. Comes back on the right to Jean Potvin. Goes to brother Dennis. Up on the left wing ahead of Parise. Parise part, race for the puck in the corner. Billy Harris has it. Billy Harris with it. Billy on the right wing, wheeling away from Sanderson. Billy in the back of the net to Parise. He's in the corner to the left of Villemure. To Billy Harris. Billy now skating around, back to the right point. Jean Potvin. Cross ice, left point, Dennis. Left wing. Still on the puck is Jude Druin. Comes back to Dennis. Dennis to Parise. Out front, Druin. His shot. He was looking for a tip-in. Nobody put the stick down. John Potvin with it. John to Dennis. Dennis shoots, blocked, and the puck is at center ice. 30 seconds to go on the penalty to Greshner. Dennis Potvin up to Billy Harris. The back pass to the right to John Potvin. John on the left wing ahead of Parise. Villemure stops it, leaves it for Sanderson. He fires it around the boards, and it deflects up into the crowd, and we'll have another face-off coming up. At the half, in St. Louis, in the ABA playoffs, the New York Nets lead St. Louis 50-48. And we'll be bringing you the Nets and St. Louis game, if necessary, next Tuesday night at the Coliseum. Face-off to the left of Villemure, and the Rangers end 1-0 Islanders.
Well, the Islanders experiencing that same problem, able to work the plays out at the perimeter, but not getting anything in close. Jude Druin slid the puck across the goal mouth looking for Harris, but Billy was unable to get the stick to it. But that's the kind of plays that'll score on the power play.
20 seconds to go on the penalty to Greshner. Islanders with a man advantage, a 5-on-4 situation. Battle for that puck. Saint-Laurent, Nystrom, the sticks flying. Villemure out of the net. He bangs it around the boards. Dennis Potvin trying to keep it in. Dennis does. Dennis with it to Nystrom, right point. John Potvin shoots, scores! And the Islanders lead it 2-0. And it's a power play goal. 4 seconds to go on the penalty to Greshner. And the Islanders now have gone up by 2. The official time, 8:26 of the second period.
Tom, I think that one was tipped, and I think it'll go to either Denny Potvin or to Gary Howard, both of whom were camped in front of the goal. We talked about getting in front. That's where you score. The Islanders having 2 men in front of the goal, Denny Potvin and Gary Howard, and it's 2-0.
Both teams now, of course, at full strength. That terminates the power play. On the draw, it's taken by Stemkowski across the line, right wing. Lewis sends it around the boards, and Nystrom lets Marat declare himself and brings it out. Bob Nystrom across the line, right wing. Bob has it knocked off his stick, and Marat sends it around the boards. It is taken by Howard. Dennis Potvin gets the goal on a tip-in, his first in the playoffs. John Potvin, Nystrom the assist. Puck loose, bounces across the mouth of the goal, and it comes out to center ice. Lewis is there to Nystrom. Bob right back down the middle. Nystrom, quick shot, and it is blocked by Marat, and he catches in the midsection. There's a break in the action. 2-0 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
Manhattan American continues its price rollback sale with a great deal on the 1975 Gremlin. Listen, $26.49 for the great little car of this or any other year, the 1975 Gremlin from AMC. And that includes American Motors' exclusive buyer protection plan. For $26.49, you get all the standard features and options like air conditioning, AM/FM radio, and automatic transmission. Stop in now at Manhattan American, West End Avenue at 66th Street, Get yourself a Gremlin for only $26.49. Price excludes transportation and sales tax where applicable.
Zip. Well, Jim, we still don't have any word from Boston on the game with the Blackhawks. Of course, that's another big game. The draw right out in front of Villamure in the slot. Back to the right point. Marshall tees it up the shot. Knocked away by Villamure on the carom. Brad Park got it. Park coming back out for the Rangers. Park with it. Right after him is Jude Druin, who can skate. Park brings it out, and Druin is all over him. Druin really tying him up. Lewis comes in for the puck to help out. Gilbert's got it. He headmans into Rattel, backhander, partially blocked by Marshall, and the puck is taken by J.P. Parise. Battle for that puck. Loosened back of the net. Vickers has got it. Back to the right point. Ron Harris shoots. The deflection is up over the net. Billy didn't see it. Vickers with it. Centering pass knocked away. Billy Smith shot. The save by Billy Smith. A beauty. Another great save by Billy. And on the puck is Eddie Westfall, and he rolls it into the Rangers' end. 9:50 to go. Second period. Islanders leading 2-0. What goaltending by Billy Smith. John Rattel across the line, left wing. To Vickers, back to Rattel. The shot hit the side of the net. Lewis fights for the puck. In comes Marshall. It's called for a stoppage in play. And with 9:37 to go, we will have a face-off to the right of Billy Smith.
Well, it's official now up in Boston. The Boston Bruins, long-time Stanley Cup club that's always been considered one of the favorites with Bobby Orr and Phil Rizzuto and company, and they've been eliminated, Dom, from this year's finals in an upset, a startling upset at that. The Chicago Blackhawks, third place in their division, and they've eliminated the Bruins by the score of 6-4. Congratulations to the Blackhawks, and on they go in the Stanley Cup.
That means that neither the Rangers or the Islanders will go to Buffalo. Ready now for the draw. The Ranger fans really coming to life. They're trying to urge their team into the quarterfinal round. Billy Smith has been the difference so far. Bruce Hood, Neil Armstrong, Ray Scapanello. They've got their work cut out for them. And Bruce Hood has done an excellent job, Jim, trying to control the game. It's been a tough one. We're going to do it again. Puck went down. We'll have another face-off. 9:37 to go in the second period. Islanders lead 2-0. Don't forget now, New York Yankee baseball tomorrow afternoon. 2:05 for New York Yankees warm-up. So be sure and join us here on WMCA. The Yankees and the Tigers. Ready now for the draw. Puck loose. Dennis Potvin fires it around the boards. Jerry Hart's got it. Hart trying to get it out. Up to Gillies. Tips it to Bourne. He's racing with Marat. He comes in. Down the middle. The shot. A great save by Villamure. What a save by Villamure. Harris was set up by Bourne. And the puck is in back of the Islanders' net. Around the boards. Taken by Denny Potvin to Bourne. Tips it to center ice. 9:05 to go in the second period. 2-0 Islanders. And it was almost 3, but Villamure with a fantastic save. Puck sent into the Islanders' end to the left of Billy Smith. Gillies gets it around the boards. Gillies fights for it to Harris. Billy has it. Goes to his left for Bobby Bourne. He gets out to center ice. Bourne after the puck. Bourne now having trouble. Loses to Fairburn. Fairburn with it. He's in the corner to the left of Billy Smith. The Islanders furiously trying to get it out. The Rangers fighting to keep it in. And the battle continues for the puck. Banged around. Fairburn's got it. Fairburn, right wing, coming in, down the middle. Knocked away. Fairburn again on the puck. Fairburn spun around. Penalty coming up on Jerry Hart. And the official time on the penalty now is 11:32 of the period. There's a break in the action. 2-0 Islanders. Will be back in a moment.
You must have a comment on whether or not you think the Yanks will win the pennant. Well, that's what WMCA is all about, and that's what my program is all about. Hello, I'm John Sterling, and I talk sports every weekday evening from 7 to 10, and all Saturday afternoon as well. And I want to talk to you.
Say what you say. WMCA. WMCA. Before your
Jerry Hart goes out for holding at 11:32. The Islanders now are shorthanded once again. They've been shorthanded once, 2 times, 3, 4th penalty on the Islanders. On the draw to Billy Smith. Billy sends it back to the left point area. Park keeps it in. Rangers now really pressing. Lewis trying to get it out. Roger Bear's got it. Eddie Westfall pushes him out of the zone. Centering pass. Vickers to Park. Left point. The shot blocked and cleared by Henning. 8 minutes to go in the second period. Both teams with furious action. What a game. As both have settled down to the game of hockey. On the puck is Rattel across the line, right wing to Fairburn. Centering pass deflected. Park keeps it in. Goes to Joe Bear. His pass knocked away. Eddie Westfall clears. And he sends it back of the Rangers' end. We're down to 1 minute and 10 to go on the penalty to Jerry Hart, who went out for holding. The Rangers come back. With it now is Rattel. His pass blocked. Park shoots. Great save by Billy Smith. Park again on the puck. In the corner to the right of Billy Smith. And look at this. Butler and Lewis fighting in the crease. And they're going at it. And the puck is loose. Billy Smith sits on it. And here's a real brawl now. As Butler jumps on top of Lewis. And now Lewis is on top of Butler.
Well, this one's a real Pier Sixer as Butler was sent in there to stir it up. And now we've got bodies all over the ice. It looks a little bit like last night. Bert Marshall was down on the ice with Brad Park, and they let each other up as the officials now separate Butler and Lewis. Both of them tangling in front of the net. Lewis doing his job, trying to keep Butler away. Jerry Butler trying to stir it up, and I think they both got to go for 5 here.
Well, the big thing is that the puck was smothered in the crease, and that's what it's all about. We got 48 seconds to go on the penalty to Hart.
Tom, I hate to interrupt you, but I think Butler may have lost a tooth as they're looking around down there in the ice now, or maybe a contact lens, because now Butler's skating off.
I was going to say, because most of the boys have lost their teeth. Butler, of course, a very aggressive guy. He's in the penalty box. Lewis is going to join him. You could see it coming because Butler wanted to try to stay in the slot. Then he get into the crease area, and Billy Smith wanted him out of there. Lewis did the right thing. He tried to get him out of there, and you knew there was going to be a battle.
Well, I hope this is 5 and 5, Don, because I think what Emile may have wanted was a couple of 2-minute penalties to set up a 4-on-3 situation. I hope they each get 5 here. Oh, no. Yes, okay. They're both going to go for 7 minutes, so that'll be a coincidental penalty, and there'll be no manpower shortage as a result.
All right, 48 seconds to go on the penalty to Jerry Hart. The Islanders are short-handed. The Rangers and the Islanders battling furiously here. 7:16 to go in the second period, and the Islanders lead it 2-0, and the hunt continues for a contact lens. And, Jim, you can imagine it's a very, very light tissue on top of that ice. It's almost impossible to find.
Right, it is. I noticed Butler has a gauze pad, though, Dom, down there in the penalty box. So I'm not certain that he wears contact lenses, are you?
I don't know at all, Jim, whether he does.
Both of them got in good shots, though. We wouldn't want to give the wrong impression. I think the first 4 rounds of the brawl went to Butler, and I guess the last 4 went to Lewis, and we gave him a draw.
I tell you, Jim, you remind me of Johnny Addy. Was he one of your favorites?
Yes, he was.
On the puck is Henning to Denny Potvin in. Shot goes! And the Islanders go out front 3-0. And it's a short-handed goal for Dennis Potvin. The official time of the goal, 12:51 of the second period.
Well, Lorne Henning made the play. Lorne Henning blocking the pass, sending Dennis Potvin in, and with 41 seconds still up on the board in the penalty, Potvin cleanly beating Villemure with a slap shot. And all of a sudden, this Garden crowd is really shocked. They don't believe what they're seeing, Dom, as the Islanders jump out 3-0.
Well, it's not over. We got 7:09 to go here in the second period and the entire third period. The Islanders are still short-handed. A short-handed goal for Denny Potvin. Dennis Potvin from Lorne Henning. Joe Bear across the line. Right wing. Eddie Westfall has the puck. Gets it out to center ice and it rolls into the Rangers' end. 12:51, the official time of the goal. For Dennis' second goal of the night. Second of the playoffs. Rick Middleton up to his own line. The puck taken by Butler down the middle of Rattel. He's ridden off. And Bert Marshall's got it. Rattel fighting for the puck. It's in the corner. Irvin after it. Dennis Potvin clears. 3 seconds. 2, 1. And time up on the penalty. Both teams at full strength. Rod Gilbert with a puck. The Islanders change to the fly. To Stemkowski up on the left wing. And the puck is knocked away by Denny Potvin. Regained by Stemkowski to Ted Irvin. Taken by McMillan. McMillan 2-on-1. Left wing. Shot. Save. Shot. Great save. The shot off the post by Saint Laurent. Villemure with a couple of great saves. The Islanders with another great opportunity. 6 minutes to play in the second period. And the puck is battled for and sat on along the boards to the right of the goaltender, Villemure. The Islanders lead it 3-0. 5:56 to go, second period.
Well, the Islanders coming very close there to making it 4-0. And now Eddie Giacomin is jumping over the boards, and I can't remember when I've seen so many goaltenders yanked as in games between the Islanders and the Rangers. Gilles Villemure, to give him his due, Dom, I really think is hurting. He's been moving very slowly, and he did his best out there tonight. He's a great goaltender, and I think the leg was really bothering him.
It was, and he is a great goaltender, and he did an outstanding job. And Villemure, of course, not happy with himself. He's a great competitor, but he really was great last night and again tonight. Face off to the right of Eddie Giacomin, who comes in now, and it'll be the right of Eddie in the Rangers' end.
Well, Andre Saint-Laurent had a great opportunity there to make it 4-0 right before the goalie change. And we ought to point out that Giacomin comes into the game cold. His last warm-up was some 15 minutes before the game, and he really didn't warm up very well as he was not the starter here tonight.
On the draw, taken by Ron Harris to center ice to Irvin, back to Stemkowski, knocked off his stick. The puck in the Islanders' end. Billy Smith sticks it to the corner to his left. And Jerry Hart is after it. And we're going to have a face-off coming up and a slashing call coming up. The official time on that slashing penalty now is going to be 14 minutes and 20 seconds of the second period. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. The Islanders lead 3-0. This is New York Islanders hockey.
This is WMCA New York. I'm Leon Lewis. Catch me every afternoon, 12:15 till 3. We'll talk. 489-1155.
Ron Harris, 2 minutes for slashing. The Islanders now have Dave Lewis still in the penalty box, who was involved in that brawl with Butler. But, of course, those were coincidental majors, so it didn't matter. So now we have a 5-on-4 situation. The Islanders with a man advantage. They lead in the hockey game 3-0. 5:40 to play, second period. Billy Harris with a puck. Billy tried to move around Park, and Park makes a good play and knocks it away. Kachuk's got it. Walt Kachuk down the middle. Kachuk trying to control it. Knocked away. Dennis Potvin. He's got 2 goals tonight. Down the middle, left wing. Bourne shoots wide. The camera around the boards. Billy Harris coming in from the right wing. Billy trying to control. Harris ridden up against the boards. Back to the right point. John Potvin with it. John being held by Kachuk, and the puck is cleared by Marat. In back of the net, Billy Smith stops it. We're down to 5 minutes to go now in the second period. The Islanders lead 3-0. We're under 5 minutes. Back comes Jean Potvin. Jean at center ice. John Potvin, right wing, Bourne. Bourne, quick shot wide, stopped by Giacomin. He moves it around Gillies. It's on the right wing board. Trying to bring it out now is Brad Park. Park loses it to Bourne. Bourne goes cross ice, nobody there. Gillies over for the puck. John Potvin shooting, partially blocked, loose. Knocked down is Billy Harris. And the puck is cleared by Billy Fairburn the full length of the ice. 50 seconds to go on the penalty now to Ron Harris. Dennis Potvin's got it. Fires it around the boards to Gary Howard. Howard at center ice. Gary across the line, left wing to Saint Laurent on the right wing. Nystrom tip in wide. The puck is banged by Fairburn. After it is Saint Laurent and Fairburn. Kept in by Andre. Ron Greshner's got it. 25 seconds to go on the penalty to Ron Harris. Greshner trying to skate it out. We're under 4 minutes to go in the second period. Greshner across the line, right wing. Greshner still controlling. He's hit under the boards, and the puck is still loose. Taken by Fairburn. Fairburn is pinned into the boards. Nystrom has it, lost it, gets it back, and Nystrom brings it out. Nystrom with a puck center ice. Cross the line, right wing. Nystrom drop pass. Jean Potvin shoots, blocked by Greshner, and the puck is lifted to center ice over the stick of Stemkowski, and time is up on the penalty. Both teams are at full strength. 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. To Andre Saint Laurent. Andre has it knocked off his stick. Gary Howard's got it. Howard on the left wing. Howard loses to Stemkowski. The Rangers come back. Stemkowski with it. Stemkowski down the middle. He shoots, blocked by Jean Potvin. Bob Nystrom comes back with Potvin. Jean across the line, right wing. Jean Potvin to Nystrom, the shot, a save by Jackman. He moves into the corner to his right, centering pass, back to the left point, deep out front. Marshall shoots, knocked down in front. Howard after the puck, right point, Jean Potvin. His pass cross ice to the left point, and it is behind Bert Marshall. Back comes Jean Rattel. Rattel has it knocked off his stick to Stemkowski down the middle. It deflects up in the air, pushed away by Howard. Nystrom after the puck. Nystrom around Breshner. Nystrom has a man in front, Druin. The centering pass, Howard, the shot, a save, and another great save by Jackman. Back comes Rattel to Beverly. And here we go now, Howard and Jackman. Look at this.
And Gary Howard is not fighting. This is amazing. He let Jackman hit him 3 or 4 times, Tom, and never threw a punch.
He didn't hit him. I don't understand that, Gary.
Oh, I do. He saw the play. Jackman was called for cross-checking. Hood had his hand up, calling the check. Gary did not want to go back at him, figuring now they ought to be 2 penalties called on Jackman. Smart heads-up play by Gary Howard.
Let's see how they call it, however. The crowd chanting Eddie, but of course...
Tom, I must say that Gary Howard there showed tremendous poise. Gary's a competitor. We both know that. Gary held his hands up in the air, stepped back, and never threw a punch.
Let's see what happens, though. Let's get the call first. Gary's probably saying to Jackman, we'll see you later. And, of course, Eddie Jackman's not going to back off either. He's a great competitor. Let's get the call now. This is what I mean. Look at this.
Oh, now Howard's going to get a penalty.
I knew it.
Oh, man.
All right, let's see how they call it, and then we'll give it to you. The official time of the penalties will be 17:34 of the second period. The Islanders are leading 3-0. Bob Nystrom, his best friend, tells him to go to the penalty box, and we were following the puck as Jim gave it to you now. Let's get these calls first. That's why Gary Howard wouldn't fight with him. He wanted the advantage, and Jackman knew it and tried to draw him into it, and Eddie got away with it.
Well, it remains to be seen what the total calls will be. I know Hood had his hand raised for Jackman on the cross check. Let's see what happens in the fighting situation. I somehow have to believe Hood was looking right at it. I know he saw the play. I think the Islanders ought to get an advantage out of this situation.
All right, it's 3-0. Second period, the Islanders lead, 2:26 to go. Chicago has already defeated Boston in a best 2 out of 3. So that means the Islanders will not play in Buffalo. Now, with Chicago winning, we have to wait and see who wins between Los Angeles and Toronto. Here are the penalties now. Gary Howard's going to go off. He already has. Roughing on Gary Howard.
And Jackman, the Rangers, receives 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for cross-checking.
2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Game misconduct for Pete Stemkowski, who was the 3rd man of the fight.
Well, Dom, I have to say that's fairly equitable. I knew that the call was going to go to Jackman for roughing. I saw the roughing. I saw Hood's hand go up. The only smart move that Gary made, Gary took a punch or 2, and you have to give Gary a lot of credit. They gave him roughing. I don't think he was guilty of roughing myself, but if you had to look at it objectively, I thought Hood handled that situation very well.
He's done a great job, really. This is a very spirited game. It's a very difficult game to call. I think he's handled it extremely well. And you know how high tempers are because all the marbles are on the table. So to recap it for you, Eddie Jackman will have his penalty served by Nick Beverly. He gets 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for the cross-check. Gary Howard, 2 minutes for roughing. Pete Stemkowski, the game misconduct. He was the 3rd man of the fight. So he's out for the remainder of the game. However, there's no loss of personnel on the ice. So the Islanders are going to come out of this thing with a man advantage, and that's the most important thing.
Well, they may come out of it with even more than that, Dom, because we've seen Billy Smith get involved in these kinds of things, and I don't believe a goaltender who gets involved in fighting is truly concentrating on being a goaltender. I know Smitty usually gets involved in games when the Islanders are either way up or way out, and the Rangers right here, can ill afford to give up another goal. Jackman's been brought in out of the bullpen to stem the tide. The first thing he does is get involved in a scrap. Gary, who I've known Gary a while, and Gary, let's say to be truthful, has provoked on occasion, but in that particular situation, Gary Howard was very, very innocent. He was skating away from Jackman. Jackman came out of the crease to cross-check him. That was the first 2-minute roughing call. Gary just stepped around, looked at Jackman. Jackman threw at least 1 or 2 punches, and Gary really made no effort to hit the goaltender.
All right, ready for the draw now outside the Rangers line. It's a 4-on-4 situation for 2 minutes. Then the Islanders are going to get the man advantage for the other 2 minutes. On the puck, Ron Harris. Cross the line, left wing. Harris with the puck, it's offside. Face off in the neutral zone at center ice outside the Islanders line. 2:15 to go, second period. Islanders out front, 3-0. First period goal by Clark Gillies. Second period, Dennis Potvin has a power play goal and a short-handed goal. He has been brilliant tonight. On the draw, in the corner to the left of Billy Smith. Bert Marshall banks it around the boards. Jean Potvin's got it. John trying to get it out. Wheels to the right of his goaltender. Goes to Marshall. Back to Jean Potvin. John up on the right wing. Off the stick of Jude Druin. Goes after the puck. So does Harris. It's in back of the net. We're into 2 minutes to go now in the second period. To Jean Rattel right back to Brad Park. Park comes out up the middle. Center ice. Park coming across the line right wing. Park with the puck. Park still controlling. Wheeling. Park to Harris. Right point. Shot. Wide. And the carom rolls all the way out to center ice. Minute and a half to go in the second period. And we have a minute to go in the penalty to Howard before the Islanders get the man advantage. And the puck fired in the Islanders' end. Bert Marshall has it. Bert in back of the net. Gilbert is forechecking. Bert now trying to get it out. Bert with it up on the left wing. Off the boards. Jude Druin with a puck. Center ice. Jude coming across the line down the middle. Jude Druin trying to move around Ron Harris. Still has the puck. Knocked away by Jackman. And Brad Park has it. Minute to go in the second period. 3-0 Islanders. Jackman just moves the puck in back of the net. 30 seconds to go on the penalty to Gary Howard. And then the Islanders will have a man advantage. Eddie Westfall has the puck. He steals it on the right wing. Eddie loses to Jean Rattel. Rattel coming back. Back pass to Brad Park. Park brings it out. Center ice. Park. Cross the line. Drop pass. Harris. Down the middle. Shoot shot. Saved by Billy Smith. And the puck is battled for. And Dennis Potvin clears. Gillies collects. 2-on-1. Clark shoots. Knocked down. The shot up over the net. Hit the top of the crossbar. It grazed it. And the Islanders now have a man advantage as Howard's penalty's up. On the puck, Bert Marshall goes to his right. Dennis Potvin to Westfall. Eddie to Howard, left wing. Gillies shoots. A save and a beauty by Jackman. Out front, deflected away. Marshall with it. Bert shot, blocked. Eddie Westfall keeps it in. And that ought to do it for the period. And that's it. At the end of 2 full periods of play, the Islanders lead 3-0.
Have you noticed how many banks now charge 15 cents per check with their special checking account?
Say, buddy, keep it down, will you?
It's inflation.
I ask you to keep it down.
That's why European American Bank introduces no-flation checking.
Are you going to keep it down or not?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. No-flation means the per check charge at European American is still just 10 cents. There's no minimum balance, and the service charge is still just 75 cents per month.
Check's still just 10 cents at European American?
Yeah.
You did keep it down.
European American Bank, member FDIC. We've made a commitment to bring you better banking.
Yankees.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Raiders.
Cesar Cedeno.
Mets.
Hi, this is John Sterling. Names, faces, and places in the sports world. We take them all in and argue them out every evening, Monday through Friday from 7 to 10, and all afternoon on Saturday. Larry Zonka. WMCA Sports. John Sterling.
Now, here's a word from the #1 beer in New York.
Hey, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
New York is full of landmarks. The Battery, Washington Square, Shea Stadium. And over on Kent Avenue in Brooklyn, there's another landmark, the Schaefer Brewery. Since 1842, there's always been a Schaefer Brewery in New York. Because New York has always liked Schaefer's way of tasting first beer good, beer after beer, year after year. Schaefer's a beer born and brewed right here in New York. It's New York's #1 beer.
One more time. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
With the Islanders leading 1-0, Dennis Potvin picks up a power play goal from John Potvin and Bob Nystrom at 8:26 to make it 2-0. And then Dennis Potvin, a shorthanded goal, his second of the playoffs from Lauren Henning at 12:51, made it 3-0. Shots on goal, 13 for the Islanders, 11 for the Rangers in the second period. The Rangers have outshot the Islanders 26-21 after 2 periods. Intermission highlights are next on New York Islanders hockey. 3-0 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
On July 1st, 1974, after years of selling only one kind of gasoline, premium, the Getty Oil Company introduced a new gasoline, Getty No-Lead. The kind of gasoline most 1971 through 1974 cars can run on, and most 1975 cars have to run on. Like most oil companies, we at Getty expected our No-Lead to account for only 5 to 10% of our sales. But we had a surprise. We're selling twice as much Getty No-Lead as we thought. Maybe it's because Getty No-Lead is a little bit better than a No-Lead has to be. So it gave people the kind of performance they wanted, and they gave us their business. Remember, don't waste gasoline. But when you do drive, fill up with Getty. Premium or No-Lead. Getty. We've got what's best for your car.
This is Jim Garvey at Madison Square Garden with a score after 2 periods of play. The New York Rangers no score and the New York Islanders 3. Yes, that's right. It's the New York Islanders 3 and the Rangers no score, and what has to be considered quite an upset in the making here at the Garden tonight. Certainly a pleasure for me to welcome to our Islander Highlights program here an old friend, a fellow who is probably better known to a lot of our listeners out there as the voice of the New York Yankees, the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. And Phil, welcome.
Jim, thank you very much. And this is one of the most exciting games I believe I've seen. Of course, they're all exciting when they're fighting to get in the finals of the Stanley Cup. But what impresses me is the fact that the Islanders are outplaying the Rangers so much that it looks like the Islanders have more men on the ice.
Well, Phil, it certainly does. And I think you made a very perceptive comment, as an athlete would, while we were off the air here. And I think I'd like to ask you again what you think is making the difference in this skating ability, and I think I'll let you tell our fans.
Well, Jim, it looked to me like the Rangers don't have the youth that the Islanders have, and those young legs have just caught up and passed the Rangers now, and they're playing so much better hockey. It seems like they've had more 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s than the Rangers have had in the whole ball game.
Well, Phil, I couldn't agree with you more. As we finished that second period with the Islanders on the manpower advantage, they came in 3-on-1 again, and except for some sparkling work by Jacquemin in the Ranger cage, it could be 4-0 right now.
It certainly could. You know, it was interesting, Jim, because you were telling me about Billy Smith and net, and I've only seen the Islanders 2 other times in person, never against the Rangers. I've seen them on TV a lot. But it seems like, as you mentioned, if Billy Smith stops the first few hard shots at him, he's tough, and I don't see how they can get one by him tonight. Almost looks like he's got a magnet in his whole body to attract that puck.
Boy, it sure does. You know, Phil, earlier in the season, right here in this very building, Billy Smith was victimized by 3 early goals in the first 4 minutes of a hockey game with Rangers. They came out from the blue line. They were scored by Gilles Marat, Beverly, you know, fellows who don't usually score. They were long drives, and I think Billy was a little shell-shocked for about 2 weeks, and Coach Al Arbour really didn't use him in this building again. Glenn Resch was playing all the Ranger games, in fact, doing pretty well until last night. And this was quite a startling revelation to a lot of the hockey people here who really expected Resch to be in the cage. Al Arbour went out on a limb, but, gee, Al Arbour's been doing that all year, and that's why he's the NHL Coach of the Year. And in my book, he's the coach of a lifetime for the Islanders, because he came right back in here with Billy Smith, and as you called it, Billy looks like he's unbeatable here tonight.
Well, you know, you got to give Arbour a lot of credit. There are a lot of coaches, and I know that have cracked under the strain a lot less than Al is going through. But he must be instilling a lot of confidence in this club. The Potvin brothers, John and Dennis. Of course, Dennis has 2 goals tonight, one on a deflection on a shot by his brother. But he's such a tough kid and such an outstanding player to be that young that I think I heard a couple interviews where the Islanders, after they beat the Rangers in that first game, said that in prior games they had played against the Rangers, they were so in awe of the Rangers. You know, they had read about them, and here they were playing against them. But after that first game, they kind of got their feet wet. It's just like a ball player in a World Series. You're nervous until the game starts. And now they're playing them, well, better than even up. And I'm sure the Islander fans are very happy.
Well, Phil, you know, the way the schedule maker came through this season, the Islanders and Rangers met twice during the last week of the regular season. Both of those were big games as the two clubs finished with identical point totals of 88. Many folks felt that this was a fluke. The Rangers were given the odd game in the Garden because of more wins, and the Rangers had never been defeated by the Islanders in Madison Square Garden in the 3 years of existence that these two teams have played games. So that last game, while it really didn't matter too much in the final overall standings, I think psychologically gave this Islander club a big lift when they knew they could beat this club in this building.
Well, that's got a lot to do with getting confidence, that just playing that game and knowing what they can do and what their potential is, and as soon as they loosen up, they're playing excellent hockey. I'd like to see, you know, I can't figure out, you and Dom were trying to tell me who will play who if the Islanders do win this game, but I guess to the Islanders it doesn't matter too much, except that if they do have to go against Montreal, it'll be a lot tougher than going against some of the other clubs.
Right, and I'm sure, Phil, the same confusion that you had and I had is certainly going through the minds of our listeners out there, and I'll try to bring you up to date here very briefly.
Good.
If the Islanders are successful in holding this lead here tonight, who they play will be contingent upon the game between the L.A. Kings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Chicago Blackhawks, for late tuners in, have already defeated the Boston Bruins up in Boston by a 6-4 count. So if the L.A. Kings defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs, it'll be the Islanders in Montreal. If, on the other hand, the Toronto Maple Leafs are successful up there, it will be the Islanders in Pittsburgh. Certainly a better draw for the Islanders. So I'm sure Islander fans, in addition to rooting for their own club, are rooting for the Maple Leafs out on the coast.
Well, I'm sure they are, because it means an awful lot. Because if they can get by Pittsburgh, then that means they would be in the finals of the Stanley Cup.
Well, that's about it, Phil. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, that'd be unbelievable. And New York deserves one team in the finals this year. Of course, they've got the Nets over there, who always seem to do well. The Knicks are struggling very badly, and the Yankees and the Mets, it's too long a season to tell what's going to happen, but it's been too long outside of the Nets for a New York team not to win some kind of a championship.
Well, Phil, you know, you certainly, as the shortstop in a great Yankee club that probably was the club I idolized most when I grew up, know a great deal about that, and we are certainly happy to have you and the Yankees on WMCA, and, you know, you're one of us now. Let's talk a little baseball, if we would, for a couple of minutes. The Catfish went today, and from what you were telling me, except for a couple of bad pitches, he pitched a pretty creditable game.
He did. At one point, he retired 13 men in a row, but as I said, he made two bad pitches. One of them to Willie Horton in the first inning with a man on. Willie hit out in the Flushing Bay, and then in the sixth inning, he walked his first man of the ball game. That always is trouble for a good control pitcher. Another man got on a base hit, and then he grooved one, just got it up a little too high to Nate Colbert, who the Tigers got from San Diego, and he hit it out in the bullpen in left field, and 5 runs, all of them on homers, were just enough. And then Mickey Lolich, who had been struggling, had the bases loaded, nobody out. They brought in John Hiller, pitched to Bobby Bonds, bases loaded and nobody out. We didn't score. He struck Bonds out, and Bob Oliver hit into a double play.
Well, Hiller's one of the best coming out of the bullpen, and it's obvious that he's in mid-season form. But, Phil, you know, it's early in the season, and, you know, you pick up the newspapers and you see the Yankees have dropped their first 2 games, and people are wondering what's wrong with the Yankees. I know they've had some nagging injuries. I've been reading that Elliott Maddox, Roy White have had thumb injuries,
yes,
and I know gripping that bat in the cold weather can't help when you have a thumb injury.
Absolutely not. But I'll tell you something. Jim, you and Dom, after doing a game here, if you had to do a baseball game, it'd be like a picnic. I have always contended, and I've never gotten an argument, that you get more for your money watching a hockey game than any other sport. It's the fastest game I know, with continuous action all the time. And I don't think there's any better place to be if you want excitement than at a hockey game.
Well, coming from Phil Rizzuto, who's certainly an accomplished golfer, a great baseball player, and an avid sportsman in every sport, football, basketball, and the like, I think that's a great compliment to hockey. And, Phil, I've been involved in all of those myself a little bit, and I couldn't agree with you more. It's my first year here with the Islanders, and it's been one of the most pleasant years I've ever had. I think coming to the games, getting to know these young players and the coaches and the fans, I think have made it great. But the game of hockey is just, here you have a game, it's 3-0.
In some other sports, you know, you take a big lead into the closing moments, and it's everybody's out for air, you know.
Yeah,
but in this
right.
one, I expect to see the Rangers come out flying because there's no tomorrow.
That's true, and of course it's nice to be on a winner too, Jim. It makes the games you're doing so much more exciting, and the fans appreciate it so much more. And you know, it's interesting. I was listening to you and Dom last night, and it wasn't that good a game because of so many fights. But I'd say you really got excited during those fights, and it was very funny and interesting listening to you describe the fights. Oh, there comes it. Look at this. I was wishing I could see it on TV. We don't happen to have cable, so I was listening to you and Dom, and it was exciting. But tonight, I think it's got to be one of the best played hockey games that people in New York have had the privilege to watch.
Well, Phil, you know, after the game, I met Frank Udvari, who's the chief of officials, and we had an animated discussion downstairs, and Dom told me, he said, if Phil Rizzuto were here, your rating would be at least 126. Holy cow.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Gosh, I say hockey is so exciting. I mean, it's so interesting that there's continuous play, and you've got to be right on the ball all the time. I'm amazed at the way Dom is able to handle it. I don't know whether you do any play-by-play, Jim, but I know you do the color very well and handle it very well, but the play-by-play is so fast-moving, and with the lines changing and everything, you've really got to be on the ball to keep track of all the players in the game.
Well, I think the Islanders have a find in Dom Valentino. He's not here to hear you and I, but after working with Dom for a whole season, Phil, he's a pro, and in addition to that, I think he engenders in the game. He has a real interest in the game and in the club, and I think that's important. He just doesn't come out here to kind of give a superficial effort to it. He's into every game. He does his homework before the games, and he's a real pro.
Well, he's doing the same thing in baseball with the Yankees, and I know he does it with the Nets, too, because I've heard him and been with him many times. And I think it's just great to have Dom with the Yankees, and, of course, the Islander fans, I'm sure, are very happy.
Well, Phil, I'd like to wish you and the New York Yankees the best of luck, and I know that come October, we'll be bringing another championship home, an American League pennant. And we'd like to present you with a $25 gift certificate from Getty, the company that has just introduced Getty No-Lead gasoline. When you use Getty No-Lead in your newer late model automobile, the emission control system should stay cleaner, and that means your gas mileage should improve. Getty No-Lead, Getty's newest way of giving you more for your money. Phil, we'll get together on the link sometime. Good luck this season, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Jim, very much.
Third period action is next on New York Islander hockey. We'll be back in a moment.
Have you heard about the unbelievable new car for 1975? It's the Pacer from AMC. Hi, this is Dom Valentino, and when I say unbelievable, here's what I mean. Imagine a car that's wider than a Chevelle, smaller than a Vega, has more interior room, then car's a lot larger, looks a little like a second cousin to a Porsche, and has features that make it the most unusual car on the road today. Now you're just beginning to find out about the Pacer. And when you go to Manhattan American, they'll show you how you can get a deal on this great car from AMC. How you can be dollars ahead of the game and get a car that delivers economy without sacrificing performance. Go on in and see the Pacer, test drive the Pacer, and talk to Manhattan American about dollars. If it's something extra you want in the way of a car, it's the Pacer. For something extra in the way you'll save money and be treated, it's Manhattan American Motors.
Mail call. Oh, there's lots of mail today, honey. Your magazine, my magazine. Your bank statement, my bank tax statement.
Still only paying $2.50 a month at European American?
Nope.
I knew it.
Now I pay only $1.50.
That's less. Then you must be getting less.
Nope. I still get unlimited checking, free personalized checks, a free safe deposit box, and lots more. Why, I even qualified for preferred loan rates.
All that for just $1.50? That's less than I pay for checks alone.
It's new. I just keep our $1,000 in a European American savings account. Our savings earn the highest interest the law allows.
And you get bank pack for just $1.50 a month?
Mm-hmm. And if we kept as little as $500 in a European American savings account, I'd pay just $2 a month for bank pack and still get interest on our savings.
Bank pack for less than $2.50 a month. Hey, maybe I should switch.
Okay. You could.
We've made a commitment to bring you better banking.
The Islanders leading 3-0. We're ready to go now with the start of the third period. The Islanders have a man advantage for 1 minute, 34 seconds at the start of the period. Billy Smith on the 8th Avenue side of Madison Square Garden
And on the 7th Avenue side is Eddie Jackman. And the door sprung open. Now words are being exchanged, and we're going to do this again. Eddie Westfall skates off. All right, Islanders trying to hang on now. They lead it 3-0. The game is not over. It's been a battle here at Madison Square Garden. The draw goes to Jerry Hart. Hart's got it in the back of his own net. Hart now bringing it out. Up on the left wing it goes to Bourne. Bourne to Gillies. Gillies shoots it in the Rangers' end. Jackman knocks it away from Bob Bourne. Fairburn after the puck, and he clears. Puck goes around the boards and back of the Islanders' net. On it is Billy Smith. Smith now leads it in back for Dennis Potvin. Dennis has been great tonight. 2 goals, shorthanded and a power play goal. To Bob Bourne to Dennis. Dennis Potvin down the middle, right wing. Bourne right around Kachuk. Bourne centering pass, and Kachuk is there to cut it off. On the right wing it goes to Fairburn, and Harris tries to tie him up, and he does. Billy Harris has the puck at his own line. Billy wheeling. Harris coming right back. Harris is dumped, and the puck goes to Jackman. Jackman knocks it away. Walt Kachuk has it. Walt Kachuk with it. Bringing it out. 30 seconds on the penalty. Kachuk with the puck. Kachuk sends it back to Brad Park at his own line. 25 seconds on the penalty. To Gilles Marat. Marat with it now. Cross ice to Park. Right back to Marat. Hard drive. Pickup save by Billy Smith, who goes sprawling on the ice. Leads it in back of the net. 10 seconds on the penalty. Gary Hart with it. Gary now wheeling. Sanderson after him. Up on the left wing to Howard. Right back to Saint Laurent. Andre with 2 seconds on the penalty. Andre has it knocked off his stick, and Greshner's got the puck. Beverly on the ice. Penalty now on the Islanders for tripping. And the official time on the penalty now is going to be 1:39 of the period. And let's get the official call, and these are going to hurt. You just can't keep killing penalties all night. It's on Gary Howard. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. The Islanders lead 3-0. This is New York Islanders hockey.
WMCA, New York. This is Bob Grant, hoping you'll join me at my new time every day from 3 to 7.
Ready now for the draw outside the Islanders' line. The Rangers again now with a power play. Gary Howard, 2 minutes for tripping at 1:39. John Rattel and Eddie Westfall. Puck is taken by Brad Park. Park in his own zone goes cross ice. A bouncing puck to Gilbert. Gilbert now starts back for the Rangers to Park. Park loses it. Back on it is Vickers for the Rangers. Vickers with it to Rattel. Ahead of him, Bert Marshall trying to get it out, and it is kept in by Brad Park to Gilbert. Gilbert right back to Park. Left point shot. Saved by Billy Smith. Beautiful glove save by Billy. And we're down to 1:32 to go on the penalty to Gary Howard.
Well, again, when the Rangers go on the power play, the guy you've got to look at is Steve Vickers. Steve, over 40 goals this season, getting himself set up again on the left corner. Middleton on the right corner. So the Rangers have a lot of firepower out there this time.
Ready now for the face-off. It's in back of the net. Bert Marshall slams it around the boards and clears. Puck into the Rangers' end. Stopped by Jacobin in back of the net. He leads it for Gilbert. Gilbert now coming out. Gilbert flying to Rattel. Knocked away. Puck loose. And it is taken by Lewis, who sends it back in the Rangers' end. It bounces to Jacobin. Up on the right wing to Gilbert. Gilbert with it. Gilbert up the middle. Center ice. Right wing Middleton. Middleton trying to split the defense. Down the middle. The shot saved by Smith. Back to the left point, Brad Park. Park with a puck. Left wing Vickers. Vickers out front. Knocked away by Smith. Shot up over the net by Park. It's at the right point. Gilbert. Gilbert with it. To Brad Park at the left point. Park with a puck. To Middleton to the corner to the right of Billy Smith out front. Deflected away by Smith. Gilbert's got it. And the shot is gloved by Billy Smith. 32 seconds to go on the penalty to Gary Howard. Islanders lead 3-0.
Well, as Phil Rizzuto said during the second intermission, Billy Smith's just been like a magnet there in the Rangers, in the Islander goal. Every Ranger shot just seems to be targeted at Billy. He's used his body well, he's used his glove well, and his stick well. And there are 32 seconds left in the penalty.
On the draw, puck is deflected around. Dennis Potman with it. Dennis clears. And it goes the full length of the ice, and we're down to 20 seconds on the penalty to Gary Howard. The Islanders shorthanded. They lead 3-0. 16 and a half minutes to play in the game. Rattel at the Islander line loses to Dennis Potman. His pass for Eddie Westfall goes into the Rangers' end. 5 seconds on the penalty now to Howard. Cross ice to Gilbert. Gilbert with it. 2 seconds. He comes out. 1. Howard on the ice. Both teams at full strength. And an offside on Kachuk coming down the middle. There's a break in the action. The Islanders lead 3-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Ever wonder what makes Schaefer the one beer to have when you're having more than one? One reason is more than one fermentation. Most brewers just ferment their beer once, but Schaefer is fermented twice. Once to make it beer, and twice to make it Schaefer. The one beer with flavor so fine, it keeps shining through, glass after frosty glass. More than one fermentation is one reason, but of course there's more than one reason behind the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
The face-off, and Dennis Potman gets it into the Rangers' end. On the puck now, Gilles Marat. Both teams are at full strength. We've got 16 minutes to play in the game. Or in the third period, we should say. Sudden death if it's tied up. Bob Bourne, driven to the boards. Gillies has the puck. He loses, and it's taken by Greshner. Greshner coming back. Greshner across the line, right wing. Hart rides him off into the boards, and Dennis Potman fights for that puck. Dennis has it. Dennis, a strong skater now, starts to come back out. Dennis gets it out to center ice. Billy Harris wanted to get it on the Islanders' side of the red line, then let it go when he couldn't. It's in the Rangers' end. Kachuk's got it. Kachuk with it. He leaves the puck for Billy Fairburn. Fairburn with it at center ice, coming down the middle, trying to split the defense. He does. Scores! Fairburn split the defense and scores. And it's 3-1. The official time is 4:44 of the third period.
Well, a great goal by Billy Fairburn. Billy doing something that Clark Gillies did here in the Garden in the third period on Tuesday night. Just stepping right between the defensemen, going in, pulling out Billy Smith, peeking him, throwing him to the ice, and sliding the puck around him. Great goal by Billy Fairburn. His third of the playoffs. Billy, the all-time Ranger high scorer against the Islanders, and we've got a hockey game.
And, of course, Fairburn did what Clark Gillies did here Tuesday night. And Clark's goal won at 3-2. He split the defense. Fairburn now has 10 career goals against the Islanders. And this is going to perk up the Rangers, I'm sure. As we said, this game is far from over. On the draw, Dave Lewis to Bert Marshall. Bert with the puck, back to Lewis. Tips at it. Gilbert's got it. Jude Druid takes it away. Jude, center ice, fires it in the Rangers' end. It rolls in back. Jackman stops it. Leaves it for Urban. Ted Urban comes out. Urban, center ice, shoots it wide of the Islanders' net. Billy Smith waits for Vickers, then clears it away. Centering pass taken by Parise. J.P. coming back. He's got Park with him. J.P., the shot, scores! And it's 4-1. And now we have a wave off, no goal. And it's an offside call.
Oh, man, that was a close one as J.P. let go a slap shot. Now the Ranger fans are realizing, only now do they realize that it's no goal.
Fans now just realizing there's no goal. It's offside. So it stays 3-1. 14:42 to play in the third period. The draw taken by Nick Beverly in back of his own net. And, of course, these last minutes are going to be furious minutes. Beverly coming out. Up on the left wing for Vickers, deflected into the Islanders' end. Bert Marshall with it to Druid. Jude on the left wing, intercepted Gilbert. The shot deflected up in the air, batted by Lewis. Lewis off the board. Park trying to keep it in. He does. Taken by Lewis to center ice to Parise. He's across the line, left wing, down the middle. His pass deflected. Parise trying to keep the puck in the zone. He does to Jude Druin. Druin is held up. He's tied up in the corner. And the puck is kept in by Lewis. Lewis loses to Vickers, to Gilbert, down the middle. The puck is loose. Vickers has it. Vickers in the corner to the left of Billy Smith. Out front, knocked away by Bert Marshall. And Gilbert goes out to him. Bert trying to move it around Vickers. And he pins Vickers into the boards. And Drew Druin clears the puck. Deflected by Murat into the Rangers' end. 13 and a half minutes to play in the third period. Back comes Greshner and flying. Greshner center ice, coming down the middle. Greshner eludes a check. And Jerry Hart knocks Polis down. And Bob Nystrom trying to get it out. Jerry Hart after it. A battle for that puck. Dennis Potvin in. Kachuk battling with Hart. Hart's got it. Hart banks it off the board and clears it the full length of the ice. It'll be icing on the Islanders. There's a break in the action. 3-1 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
Manhattan American continues its price rollback sale with a great deal on the 1975 Gremlin. Listen, $26.49 for the great little car of this or any other year, the 1975 Gremlin from AMC. And that includes American Motors' exclusive buyer protection plan. For $26.49, you get all the standard features and options like air conditioning, AM/FM radio, and automatic transmission. Stop in now at Manhattan American, West End Avenue at 66th Street. Get yourself a Gremlin for only $26.49. Price excludes transportation and sales tax where applicable.
Face off to the left of Billy Smith of the Islanders' end. The Islanders are leading 3-1. Plenty of time remaining to play. 13:03. Walt Kachuk facing off with Bourne. The draw, Gillies. Gillies gets it out center ice. After it now, Billy Harris pushes at it, knocked down, and the puck is taken by Greshner to center ice to Kachuk. Bourne after him to Greshner. Greshner tees it up, a shot, save Billy Smith. After the puck, Gillies and Fairburn, it's at center ice. Kachuk back on it. Kachuk with the puck goes to his left to Greshner. Shoots in the corner to the left of Billy Smith, and Jerry Hart has it. Hart now having trouble handling the puck. Leaves it for Dennis Potvin. Up on the left wing to Gillies to center ice. Murat has it. Murat with the puck. Murat shoots at the Islanders' end to the left of Billy Smith. Clark Gillies on it. Gillies sends it around the boards and trying to keep it in Polis. Dennis Potvin and Polis go after it. Dennis has the puck. He's trying to get it out, and Kachuk holds him up. Polis on the puck. After him now is Bourne. Bourne kicking at it. Dennis Potvin sends it around the boards. Gillies after it, and he rolls it out to center ice. And we're under 12 minutes to play in the third period. Fairburn down the middle, the shot, and it is scooped up by Billy Smith, and he hangs out of the puck. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Billy in the Islanders' end.
Bobby Bourne again came very close to making a very dangerous mistake. Bobby Bourne tried to pin the puck on the backboard. No Ranger was playing him. And if Bruce Hood wanted to be very, very technical, he could have called Bourne for 2 minutes for delay of the game. Bobby's going to have to sharpen up on that aspect of the game.
All set now for the draw to the right of Billy Smith of the Islanders' end. 3-1, the Islanders are leading. We've got 11:52 to go, third period. Ready for the face-off to the right of Billy Smith. The Islanders now, right now, trying to hang on. The Rangers are really pressing. On the draw, Bert Marshall around the board. Gary Howard there, trying to get it out, and he does. Nick Beverly's got the puck for the Rangers. Taken by Saint Laurent. Andre coming in. The shot, a save by Jacquemin. And the puck is collected by Sanderson. Up on the right wing to Middleton. Stolen by Saint Laurent. Andre coming back. Shoots it in the corner to left to Jacquemin. 11 and a half minutes to go in the third period. Beverly trying to get it out. Kept in by Dave Lewis. Brad Park fights for it. Nystrom's got it. Nystrom kicking at it. Moves it around Park. Nystrom, left point. Lewis. Lewis shoots. Deflected. Saint Laurent with it. Back to Lewis. Intercepted by Middleton. To Ted Urban. Urban coming across the line, left wing. Urban with it. The shot deflected wide. Gary Howard after the puck. Gary trying to get it out. He can't. Greshner knocked down. The puck is still in the Islanders' end and finally cleared by Lewis. And it'll be icing again on the Islanders. Face-off coming up to the left of Billy Smith. There's a break in the action. 3-1 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
If you're flying to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you got to believe Eastern can save you money. Eastern has 6 night coach flights to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, more than any other airline that saves you about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. And you can fly to Miami, Fort Lauderdale on Eastern 727 Whisper jets with spacious redesigned interiors or on the wide-body L1011 Whisper liners. For reservation, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
Ready now for the face-off to the left of Billy Smith. The New York Islanders leading 3-1. They were coasting along, but the goal by Billy Fairburn for the Rangers was a big lift and a big goal. 3-1. Jerry Hart trying to get it out. Kept in by Marat. Dennis Potvin got it. And he goes down. Rattel after the puck. Gilbert digging for it. And Dennis ends up on top of the puck. Now we're going to have a face-off coming up to the left of Billy Smith at the Islanders' end. And now Marat goes over to say something to Bruce Hood. So does Gilbert. They thought that Dennis moved it in under his body.
Well, Dom, after last night and some of the comments we made about the officiating, I spoke to Frank Goodvari today, and I want to say right now that the NHL staff here tonight, Armstrong, Stampinello, and Bruce Hood are doing a great job.
Excellent. They really have control of the game. On the draw, Jerry Hart with it. Jerry trying to come out, and he gets it out to center ice. Eddie Westfall is on it. Eddie tees it up the shot wide. Parise can't get a shot off coming into the left wing. Hart sends it in the corner. Druin after the puck. Gilbert trying to drag him down. They both fight for it. And the puck is still loose. After it is Druin. And in after him is Marat. Around the boards, Westfall centering pass. It's loose. Greshner's got it for the Rangers. He's in the corner to the right of his goaltender. Goes in back of the net. Greshner holds the puck. Up on the right wing it goes to Rattel. Rattel with it. We're into 10 minutes to play in the third period. Rattel to Marat. Back to Rattel. Jerry Hart there. Jerry gets it out to center ice. It's tipped by Westfall into the Rangers' end. On the puck, Marat. Marat to Greshner. Up ahead it goes to Rattel. Rattel to Vickers. Vickers after the puck in the corner. Centering pass. Greshner shoots. Up over the net. Billy Smith didn't see it. And Rattel centering pass wide. Druin with it. Jude having trouble getting it out. Battle for that puck. Sticks flying. Out to center ice. And Gillies goes down. Druin it goes down. And the puck is taken to the Rangers line by Marat to Greshner. Greshner with it. Down the middle he goes to Kachuk. Right back to Ted Urban. Knocked away. The puck kept in by Urban. Dennis Potvin around the boards to Clark Gillies. Gillies goes down. The puck loosened back. Centering pass smothered by Billy Smith. And we've got a face-off coming up to the left of Billy with 9:02 to go. Third period. 3-1 Islanders.
Well, after the goal by Fairburn, one might have expected the young Islanders to panic a little bit, but I don't think I've seen any of that. I think the Islanders have played very well. Dennis Potvin, Dom, I think, is playing the finest defensive game I've ever seen Dennis play with the Islanders. He has 2 goals, but we've seen a lot of great offensive hockey from Dennis in his career, but I think Jerry Hart and Dennis Potvin are playing as a tandem the best defensive game I've ever seen them play. Of course, Billy Smith is making them look good in the cage.
All set to go now with a draw. To the left of Billy Smith. 9 minutes, a long way to go. The puck battle for Lewis trying to get it out. Fairburn keeps it in. Ted Urban after the puck. Urban goes down. Urban back on the puck. Centering pass blocked by Bourne. Urban back on it. Urban centering pass across the mouth of the goal. Beverly to Kachuk. The shot blocked by Lewis. Kachuk with it. Backhander to Fairburn. The shot blocked by Lewis. Lewis after the puck. Fairburn keeps it in. The Rangers are really pressing. Centering pass across the mouth of the goal. And the centering pass by Beverly is deflected by Billy Harris into the Islanders' end. On the puck, Brad Park. Park trying to come out of his own end. Goes cross ice. Taken by Urban to Kachuk. Kachuk with it. Back on the right wing, Fairburn. Fairburn down the middle. Urban ridden off. Puck is loose. And trying to get it out is Howard, and he does, to center ice. And Billy Harris has a drop pass. Saint Laurent shoots a save by Jacquemin. 7:55 to go, third period. Sanderson with a puck at center ice. He sends it in the Islanders' end, and Andre Saint Laurent's got it. Banks it off the boards to center ice. Greshner on it. Greshner with a puck. Greshner to Polis coming down the middle to Middleton. It slides in the corner to the right of Billy Smith. Polis after it. And after it also is Saint Laurent. It's loose. Digging for it now is Howard. So is Hart. And Howard's got it. And he shoots it right to Jacquemin on goal. So there'll be no icing, and Jacquemin gets it back out to center ice. And the puck is at center ice. Taken by Middleton down the middle. Middleton down he goes. Penalty on the Islanders. So the Rangers will have a man advantage. The official time, 12:47 of the third period. There's a break in the action. 3-1 Islanders. We'll be back in a moment.
Just in case you've wondered why, Schaefer is the more than one beer. Just plain more experience is part of it. It takes experience to make any beer. But it's taken 2 centuries of brewing experience to make Schaefer. You see, more experience helps give Schaefer that special something more. That smooth, mellow flavor that keeps coming on beer after frosty beer. More experience is one reason. But, of course, there's more than one reason behind the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Face-off coming up to the left of Billy Smith in the Islanders' end. The Rangers now with a power play. And they've got one of the great ones. Lauren Henning clears the puck. Eddie Jackman stops it. On the puck now is Rod Gilbert, who can fly. He comes back to Rattel to Vickers' left wing. Vickers with it. The back pass, left point, Park. Park with a puck on the left wing to Vickers. In the slot deep, Gilbert, right wing, Middleton shoots, a save, and batted into the crowd by Billy Smith. It deflected up in the air, and like a baseball bat, he hit it just right and rammed it into the crowd.
Well, we'll try to keep you abreast of the clock as it winds down here. 6:47 to go in the game and 1:34 to go in the period. Of course, the Islanders brought a 3-goal lead into the period. They've been really sitting on this lead, playing excellent defense, and this could be the key point in the hockey game with the Rangers on the power play. Rattel's done a great job on faceoffs, and here's a big one.
1:34 to go on the penalty. Eddie Westfall, John Rattel. The puck down. It's in the corner. To the left of Billy Smith. Lewis tied up, and he tried to bank it off the glass, and it goes into the crowd. So the faceoff will be to the right of Billy Smith this time, and only 4 seconds was used up. 6:43 to go in the game. 3-1 Islanders.
That was unfortunate, as Lewis had an opportunity to clear the puck and ended up throwing it up in the crowd. Now they'll do it again.
Ready now for the draw on back of the Islanders' net. Lewis again fighting for it. It's loose. Back to the left point. Park, left wing. Vickers with it. Out front. Score! It's 3-2. It was chipped in by Fairburn again. He's had 2 goals tonight, and he has 11 career goals. 3-2, 6:33 to go, third period.
Well, we called it for you. It's just the way the Rangers have set up all their other goals. Billy Fairburn breaking down to the crease and managing to deflect that puck high up in the net. Billy Smith's looking a little down right now as Jerry Hart goes back to talk to him. 6:33 to go in the game. The Rangers are coming on, and the Islanders are going to have to really tighten up here in this hockey game. When one thinks back to the goal that was disallowed, the goal by J.P. Parise, the 4th goal the Islanders would have had, but that was called back for the offside. It's got to be a big goal as the Ranger fans are now littering the ice with debris, and we're going to have a delay here in the hockey game.
Well, right now the Islanders are going to try to stem that momentum, that overused word that is so important. The official time of the goal is 13 minutes and 27 seconds of the third period. Fairburn's 4th goal of the playoffs. He has had 2 games, 2 goals last night, 2 goals here tonight. 11 career goals against the Islanders. On the draw, Nick Beverly. He goes to Brad Park. Vickers and Park get an assist. Park shoots in the Islanders' end, and Billy Smith banks it off the board. Gilbert keeps it in. To Rattel out front. Score! Vickers ties it up. And it's all tied up 3-3.
Well, you can see that one coming. The Rangers have everything going for them now. It's like the ice has a tilt in it as the Garden fans go wild. Steve Vickers scores again from the position where Vickers is always so dangerous, right on the doorstep. As Ed Westfall argues his too good about hitting that puck with a high stick, which Gilbert did, and now the Garden fans are simply littering the ice with all kinds of streamers as the hockey game's been tied up.
13:41, the official time of the goal. Steve Vickers ties it up on a deflection. The Islanders have been trying to play the lead, and of course it's always risky when you do that, instead of keeping their own momentum going. Remember that if it ends up tied at the end of regulation time, we will go into sudden death overtime. There will be a winner tonight.
Anxious to see now, Dom, if the New York Rangers start to go into a shell now that they've tied it up, or they continue with this all-out assault on the Islander cage. Certainly Billy Smith cannot be faulted on any of the goals. All three coming right on the doorstep.
A battle for the puck, taken by Rattel to Gilbert. Shoots in the Islanders' end. Vickers after it, and it is icing on the Rangers. The puck will be brought back, and we'll have a face-off in the New York Rangers' end to the right of Eddie Jacobin.
Well, Jean Rattel and Roger Gilbert get assists, and Jean Rattel's just some kind of hockey player in the clutch. Rangers coming in 3 goals down on the brink of oblivion. They've battled back now and tied the score.
Steve Vickers second of the playoff from Rattel and Gilbert at 13:41. That's the equalizer at this moment. Gilbert has the draw. Center ice. Stopped at center ice by Parise. And J.P. backs him against the boards. And Park moves in with Druin. And we're going to have a face-off at center ice. And, of course, the line that just did all the work gets a big hand from the crowd.
Well, the Garden crowd is on their feet standing as this line comes off, and well they might. Just a tremendous effort by the Gilbert, Rattel, Steve Vickers combination. The crowd now takes up a chant of Eddie for Ed Jacobin, who came in the second period, replacing Gilles Villeneuve, and has been equal to every shot the Islanders have thrown at him, although, in truth, here in the third period, the Islanders have had very few shots on goal.
All right, we're ready to go. Bob Bourne, Walt Kachuk ready for the draw. Bruce Hood, the referee, who's done an outstanding job handling the game. On the draw, taken by Marat to his right to Greshner. Up on the right wing it goes to Fairburn, to Kachuk. He stopped, and the puck is loose. To center ice to Billy Harris. Billy coming in, right wing. Billy shoots, knocked down by Jacobin. Centering pass to Gilly. Clark sends it to the corner to the right of Jacobin. Marat's got it. Marat for the Rangers out to his own line to Kachuk. Walt Kachuk to Irvin. Ted Irvin has it knocked off his stick. He stops at the left point area. The shot is saved by Smith. Greshner's got it. He shoots, and it's deflected wide. And in the corner to the right of Billy Smith, Bert Marshall sends it around the boards. Fairbairn's got it. He rolls it in back. Bert Marshall fires it around the boards, and Gilly clears it. And it goes the full length of the ice. And it'll be icing on the Islanders. Face off to the left of Billy Smith in the Islanders' end.
Well, that's not going to do it for the Islanders. Simply clearing the puck down the other end, taking an icing call, brings the face-off all the way back in the Islander end. The Islanders are going to have to do something that's very, very hard to do. Once they've lost their momentum, regenerate it, get it together, start clearing the puck as they did earlier in the hockey game, and start to assault Jacobin in the cage. Billy Harris had a good shot on goal, and Jacobin came up big.
Ready now for the face-off to the left of Billy Smith. Bert Marshall to Lewis to Howard, and he clears it into the Rangers' end. Nick Beverly on it to Middleton behind him. Taken by Howard to Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom to Howard behind him. Knocked away. Park's got it. 3-on-2. Park, right wing to Middleton. Middleton ridden off. Lewis has the puck. Lewis sends it around the boards, and it is kept in by Polis. In back of the net, Sanderson out front. Park, backhander, knocked down, smothered by Billy Smith. Great save by Billy Smith.
Well, the Ranger point men have come all the way into the circle, Dom. The Rangers are throwing caution to the wind. Their points have come all the way into the top of the circle. They're going all out here for the win.
Well, there's no tomorrow, Jim. Got to do it now. And, of course, this crowd has really come to life. Just a tremendous hockey game. Whoever wins it, it has been some kind of a game tonight.
Well, Mr. Magic, John Rattel, is on for the Rangers, so he's tough.
Ready now for the draw. On the puck, taken by Jerry Hart. Jerry to his right to Westfall. Eddie brings it out. Eddie center ice. Shoots in the corner to the right of Jacobin. Eddie Jacobin moves it him back. Collected on the move by Gilbert. He's coming right back. Center ice. His pass in center for Rattel, wide of the mark, and Jerry Hart has it. Hart trying to knock it away, deflect, almost went on Vickers' stick. Up to Druin. Jude loses to Park. Back of the left wing, Vickers coming in. Vickers down the middle, and by Gilbert. He's coming right back, center ice. His pass in center for Rattel, wide of the mark, and Jerry Hart has it. Hart trying to knock it away. It deflects. Almost went on Vickers' stick. Up to Druin. Jude loses to Park. Back of the left wing, Vickers coming in. Vickers down the middle, and the centering pass is deflected wide. And we got Bruce Hood now rushing in there as the puck is smothered by Billy Smith.
Well, this is Stanley Cup action at its finest. End-to-end action. And if we can maintain our composure and our voices up here, we'll bring you the rest of this one because this is going to be a fight to the finish.
Ready now for the draw to the left of Billy Smith at the Islanders' end. The Islanders are tied with the Rangers, 3-3. The Islanders led 3-0 coming into the period. The Rangers have caught the Islanders. Eddie Westfall, John Rattel. Eddie wins the draw. Taken by Jerry Hart. Moves it to the left of Billy Smith. Dennis Potvin got it. In front of the net, it goes to Jerry Hart. Out to his own line to Eddie Westfall. Eddie with it. And on the Rangers' side of the red line, shoots it in. Stopped by Jacobin and back. He moves it away from Jude Druin. And the puck comes to center ice. Rattel has it to Vickers across the line. Left wing, right wing. Joe Bear shoots up over the net. After the puck is Westfall. Eddie now cuts in front of his own net. Off the left wing boards. To Hart. Jerry Hart coming out. Jerry, center ice. Hart rolls it to the Rangers' end. Joe Bear's got it. 3:05 to go, third period. 3-3 to Vickers. Vickers at center ice. Vickers across the line, left wing. On the right wing, knocked away. Rattel back on it. His pass, and it is kept in. Taken by Marshall. Marshall up in the right wing. Billy Harris. Billy trying to move around Beverly. Billy centering pass knocked away. Bert Marshall in from the right point, trying to hold it in. And he can't. Kachuk's got it. Kachuk to Beverly. Back to Kachuk. Behind Beverly. Knocked away. Greshner on the puck. Knocked down. The crowd thought there should have been a penalty, and there isn't. And Clark Gillies clears it. And we got icing coming up on the Islanders. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. 3-3 the score. This is New York Islanders hockey.
WMCA, New York. Hello, this is Joan Hamburg. We can talk to each other every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. Call me at 489-1155.
The New York Nets went down to defeat tonight in St. Louis, 113 to 108. So St. Louis now leads the best-of-7 series, 2-1. And the young spirits have come on strong. On the draw, puck loose, taken by Billy Harris to Gillies off his skate. Marat got it, goes cross-ice. Marat to Greshner, shoots in the Islanders' end. Billy Smith is there, leaves the puck for Lewis. Lewis and Kachuk now holding him up. Around the boards to Bourne, knocked away. Puck loose in front, deflected. Right across the mouth of the goal. Billy Harris has it. Billy coming back. Marat back with him. Billy is knocked down. And the puck is taken for the Rangers by Billy Fairburn. Fairburn, center ice, left wing Urban. Urban trying to go around Bert Marshall. Bert rides him into the boards. He goes down. The puck kicked at. Bert Marshall after it. Trying to move the puck up to Billy Harris. He does. To center ice. And Bourne loses to Greshner. Greshner knocked down. Battle for that puck at center ice. We got 1:20 to go, third period to Park. Poke check by Bert Marshall, and it's back to the Rangers line. Steve Vickers on the puck. The Islanders change on the fly. Marshall to Parise. Left wing Druin. Jude is knocked down. Westfall after the puck. Vickers has it. Vickers up on the left wing to Rattel. Rattel, cross ice, knocked down Gilbert. Down the middle, drop pass, Vickers shoots. A save by Smith and a beauty. Dennis Potvin got it. He gets to the center ice to Druin. Jude sends it to the Rangers' end. 40 seconds to go in the third period. Back to center ice, Dennis Potvin to Jerry Hart. Hart to Parise to Druin. The shot on the right wing. Westfall. Eddie out front. Blocked. And the puck is jammed against the boards, and we're going to have a face-off with 32 seconds to go in the third period.
Well, Dom, I have only one wish in this hockey game, and that wish being that the goal that decides this game be a good, clean goal. I think these are two great clubs. They've battled evenly all year long. They both finished with 88 points. Here we come down to the final 32 seconds, one game apiece, 3-3 on the scoreboard, and I hope the goal that wins it is a beauty.
32 seconds to go. Third period. Then we go into sudden death overtime if nobody scores in the next 32 seconds. Tremendous hockey action. This is one of the finest games I think I've ever seen or done. Just great. On the draw, Saint Laurent shoots, saved by Jacobin. He pushes it in back. Brad Park's got it. Park up on the right wing to Sanderson. The Rangers rushing now. The shot is wide of the net. Centering pass Butler. Sanderson on the right wing. Back to Park, knocked away. Howitt's got it. Gary bringing it out to Nystrom. 7 seconds. Nystrom with it. Loses to Irvin. Dennis Potvin on it. Dennis, left wing. Howitt with the puck. That's it. That's the end of the third period. And at the end of 3 full periods of play, it is 3-3.
The people of Eastern believe they're going to make your next Eastern flight a great flight.
Part of my job at Eastern is solving travel problems. If you've got one, call me.
You've got to believe.
I'll do everything I can to get you where you want to go, when you want to go.
We're going to do more than just get you there. We're going to take good care of you all the way.
You got to believe.
I'm going to do everything I can to give you a smooth flight.
If you're flying to Florida, Eastern can give you more than any other airline. With the most daily nonstops to cities in Florida, including Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Petersburg, West Palm Beach, Sarasota, and Orlando, home of Walt Disney World. Take a money-saving Eastern night coach to most cities in Florida and save about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. For reservations to Florida, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
Jim Garvey at Madison Square Garden, where after 3 periods of regulation play, it's the New York Islanders 3 and the New York Rangers 3. The New York Islanders came into the third period with a 3-0 lead, appeared to be coasting along fairly evenly, when at 4:44, Bill Fairburn got his third goal of the playoffs from Tkachuk and Greshner, and it was 3-1. That goal seemed to spark the Rangers. It certainly sparked the crowd, and the Rangers came back with vim and vigor. And shortly thereafter, Jerry Hart was penalized for hooking at 12:47. The Ranger power play, which had been blunted during this hockey game, an outstanding power play during the playoffs and during the regular season, came to life, and at 13:27, Bill Fairburn got his second consecutive goal, skating down at the goal mouth on assists from Vickers and Park, and it was 3-2. At that point, the crowd roaring. It appeared only a matter of moments before the Rangers would tie it, and some 14 seconds later, at 13:41, Steve Vickers scored again from the goal mouth. All 3 Ranger goals coming on fairly similar type plays. Fairburn's 2 and Vickers' third tying goal from Rettel and Gilbert. Over the last 6.5 minutes, the clubs battled, with the Rangers getting perhaps the best chances, controlling the puck in the Islander end, Billy Smith being called upon time and time again to make saves to keep the Rangers off the board. To give you an idea about the third period and how one-sided it was, shots on goal, which are sometimes not indicative, but in this case, I think truly reflect the type of action we had. The New York Islanders managed only 4 shots on goal, and 2 of those 4 coming after the score had been tied. The Rangers, on the other hand, came up with 14 shots on goal, outshooting the Islanders 14-4, for a total of 40 shots on goal to the Islanders 24. Well, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the proceedings right now, the ice has been cleared. The Zamboni machine is on. We have a regular 15-minute intermission, in which time the ice will be cleaned, the players will be refreshed, and we will come out to play sudden death overtime. Sudden death overtime, perhaps the most exciting moment in athletics, when it's 2 teams on the ice, knowing that the next goal determines the game. The winner moves on, the loser departs. Sitting up here with me, as he's been for most of the games during the playoffs, the voice of the Washington Capitals, Ron Weber. And Ron, it's a pleasure to have you up here with us.
Thank you, Jim, very much. Pleasure to be here, and boy, am I going to enjoy the 4th period. I haven't seen one, of course, all year, and the final score of this game is 4-3, or will be. And don't we wonder who it's going to be.
Well, you know, Ron, being the Islanders play all season and, of course, keeping close tabs on the Rangers as well, it's almost incredible to think that after 80 games in the regular season, the clubs end up 88 points apiece. After 3 games of Stanley Cup action, the clubs end up a game apiece, 3-3 here. And how close can you get?
You know, and it's, of course, I think more to the Islanders' credit. Certainly the Rangers have more talent on their hockey club, and certainly they have a lot more experience. Not only experience in years, but experience in the playoffs. Ed Jockman, I believe, is playing his 65th Stanley Cup game tonight. I don't know how many Billy Smith's been in, but it can't be more than a handful, and I know for a fact, of course, Glenn Resch had not played any before Tuesday.
Right. You know, while the Islanders had the 3-goal lead, they had opportunities to put this game away. Andre Saint-Laurent hit the crossbar, Nystrom hit the goalpost, and I guess the one that really had to hurt right after Fairburn had scored, upping the count to 3-1, the Druin Westfall Parise line come over the blue line, and J.P. Parise lets go a slap shot that beat Jockman, and for an instant it appeared as though the Islanders had taken a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, I think, though, the offside call was a good one, but it was awful close, and I can see Islander partisans being visibly upset by that. No two ways about it. It is going to be too bad that one team somewhere along tonight or by early morning is going to be out of this thing, because they both really deserve to continue the way they played. The Islanders for playing up to, I still got to think, a better hockey club. And, of course, the Rangers from coming back, because they were certainly staring defeat in the place and even the ignominy of a shutout on their own home ice in their last game of the season. Billy Smith was superb in the first period. I have not seen better goaltending over a 20-minute stretch in this entire season, any game that I've watched. And, of course, I saw the Capitals play 80, and when I could, I took a busman's holiday, and I guess I picked up another dozen or so along the way. Fairburn, of course, with a couple of goals, a couple of nights running, is to be credited. And Vickers, who scored the tying goal, I think on a fluke, as I saw it, it went off the blade of Dennis Potvin's stick. But nevertheless, he earned a point just before that when he centered a perfect one for Fairburn to block in. So the Rangers have had their heroes. The Rangers have had to overcome a change in goaltenders and a game misconduct of Pete Stemkowski. And in fact, if the Rangers hadn't come back and tied this game, I think the onus might have been on Jockman, who lost his temper at a very critical time when he slashed Gary Howat repeatedly, and I think he was lucky that Howat even went off at all. It could have been, the Rangers could have been shorthanded for 4 long minutes. As it was, he got the double minor to Jockman, and Howat, who showed restraint, which is unusual for him, got 2, and really a little different view could have let him get away scot-free, and certainly Howat would like to punch the Silver Fox back, but I think he was thinking what the score was and how important it was.
Well, I commented on the air that last night we discussed the officiating at length. Tonight I thought the officiating by Bruce Hood and his crew has been excellent. But on that particular play, as I saw it, I don't know how you saw it, Ron, Howat actually lifted his hands up almost in a pose of surrender to avoid hitting Jockman and just backskated, absorbing a couple of shots from Eddie Jockman.
Yeah, I think at the same time, though, he was giving him a lot of lip, because it looked to me like all of a sudden, you can't look behind the mask, of course, but Jockman jumped at him. And I think that Howat was goading him. Of course, you know, if you can do that, that's to the player's credit. But although Howat physically wasn't trying to enter in the thing, I think he was hoping Jockman would come plowing in at him. And after thinking that a goalie in a fight is rather rare, we've had 2 in 2 nights now, 1 for each side.
I thought the turning point in the hockey game, Ron, in the third period was not the Fairburn goal, because the Islanders then killed about 10 minutes of the period and had a 3-1 lead with 7 minutes to go. As soon as the call was made to Jerry Hart, I felt at that point, I said to Dom Valentino, you just don't keep this power play off the board forever. I thought that was the turning point in the hockey game.
I'd agree with you. And, of course, that's the one Vickers made the fine center that Fairburn blocked in, and that gave him the impetus. You're right, Fairburn had scored and broken Smith's shutout, but it didn't really seem like the Rangers, it didn't seem like the Islanders were rocked back by that at all, when it was still 3-1 their favor. In fact, Fairburn built that play. There were 2 assists handed out to Greshner and Kachuk at 4:44. But really, Fairburn made that all the way down himself. He really soloed, and he sashayed down the middle. It was a fine individual effort, but I sometimes think an individual effort like that doesn't automatically spur a team on as much as some good team play would have been.
Absolutely. I don't think Billy Smith could have been faulted on any of the goals. The Rangers seem to have a penchant for coming up with that goal at the goal mouth. I think Vickers and Fairburn are the 2 best at it. Ricky Middleton is pretty good as well. They just always have a guy on that power play at the corner, and that's where you get those goals.
You know, talking about Middleton, I think you would have to agree with me. If Middleton had not had that serious injury, December, January, along in there, and missed a couple of months, I had to feel he'd have added at least a point to the Rangers' standings, and they would have finished ahead of the Islanders, because even now Middleton is only a spot player, and if he had not had that leg injury, he'd be a regular and a real scorer for them, where now he's not really been a factor in these playoffs.
Well, I had the feeling early in the season that Rick Middleton perhaps had the inside track on the Rookie of the Year award. I think he has marvelous talent, tremendous shiftiness. He's a great skater, and he's certainly going to add to the Rangers' offense over the next seasons to come. Ron, as I sit here thinking about this first sudden death overtime game, which we'll be witnessing, I stated with 3 minutes to go in the game, and I'll repeat it now, that I really have only one wish, that the goal that decides this game not be a fluke, but be a clean goal scored by one of two great teams.
That's right. How long ago was it when you first thought, gee, I just hope sometime we get into an overtime, because then you knew the Islemen would be into the playoffs. It's something I'm, of course, looking forward to as a Capital announcer, and I hope it isn't too many eons away. And someday I want to broadcast an overtime game. Of course, I'd like to see them put it in regular season type, not play all night, but play an extra 10 minutes. That would cut the ties in half and a little bit better, probably, and I think it would be good. As to that old saying about, oh, well, both teams will just lay back in the overtime, well, baloney. They do that in the third period of regular season games now, especially the visiting team. So it would just mean that old shell game would start a little later, because they know they would not only have to waste away the rest of the third period, but an extra 10 minutes as well. So I was hoping, I think it's bad for hockey overall that WHA came into being, but I was hoping that maybe one good effect out of it was the NHL would sort of be forced into reinstating an overtime, which they took out in 1940-something because of Second World War transportation problems.
Well, you know, I couldn't agree with you more, Ron. I think that the one thing that expansion has done in creating new leagues in both the basketball group with the ABA and the AFL when it came into being in football, and now the World Hockey League, is I think that the people who set up these leagues are a little more progressive in their thinking, because they really don't have an established product, and it behooves them to appeal to the fans. I think the game basically is set up for the fans. I know sometimes in overtime it would be a little difficult for players and coaches, but I think the salary levels have risen to such a degree, and the fans are paying good money, and I think that we ought to be catering a little bit more to the fans, and I think the fans have definitely proven in the World Hockey League that they love the overtime. I can't think of a more thrilling moment in sports than a sudden death overtime in any sport.
Oh, you know, if I were a player, and in your career you're going to be in X number of overtimes, you'll probably lose as many as you win. I wouldn't want to play an extra 10 minutes either. It's a hard, demanding sport, and I'd rather just call it a tie and go home. But, you know, the fans want it, and I think it's fair. Now, I'm not against ties in football. I'm against them putting in tiebreakers in the National Football League like they've done, because a tie in a football game is a rarity, but it isn't in hockey where you have such little scoring.
Well, Ron, I want to thank you for kind of coming up here and pinch hitting. I think you've been an interesting guest. You have a good outlook on hockey, and I know that within the next few years, you know, this is the Islanders' third season, so the Caps coming off a tough year, but their first year with a couple of good draft picks like Jolly and a couple of more. I know that the Caps will be right in it. But we'll be back with the overtime period when we return in a moment.
Now here's a word from the #1 beer in New York.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
New York is full of landmarks. The Battery, Washington Square, Shea Stadium. And over on Kent Avenue in Brooklyn, there's another landmark, the Schaefer Brewery. Since 1842, there's always been a Schaefer Brewery in New York, because New York has always liked Schaefer's way of tasting first beer good, beer after beer, year after year. Schaefer's a beer born and brewed right here in New York. It's New York's #1 beer.
One more time. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Have you heard about the unbelievable new car for 1975? It's the Pacer from AMC. Hi, this is Dom Valentino, and when I say unbelievable, here's what I mean. Imagine a car that's wider than a Chevelle, smaller than a Vega, has more interior room, then car's a lot larger, looks a little like a second cousin to a Porsche, and has features that make it the most unusual car on the road today. Now you're just beginning to find out about the Pacer. And when you go to Manhattan American, they'll show you how you can get a deal on this great car from AMC. How you can be dollars ahead of the game and get a car that delivers economy without sacrificing performance. Go on in and see the Pacer. Test drive the Pacer and talk to Manhattan American about dollars. If it's something extra you want in the way of a car, it's the Pacer. For something extra in the way you'll save money and be treated, it's Manhattan.
Madison Square Garden, along with Dom Valentino. In case you tuned in late, you've missed a whale of a hockey game. The score after 3 regulation periods of play is the New York Islanders 3 and the New York Rangers 3. The Rangers coming up with 3 goals in the third period to turn almost certain defeat into this tie situation. And sidelights for those of you who are interested in it, you know, the Rangers and the New York Americans, the old last time we've had a rivalry like that, last time they played in the playoffs was in 1937-38. And in a 2-game out of 3 series, the same as this, in the 6th period or the 3rd overtime period of the last game, the New York Americans defeated the New York Rangers by the count of 3-2. So whether or not history will repeat itself, we'll have to wait and see. And Dom, it's been a whale of a game and a whale of a season.
Both teams back out on the ice as we get ready now for the overtime sudden death. And, of course, you always see that great phrase about the ecstasy of victory and the agony of defeat. Well, you'll see it here tonight because the team that wins it will be very, very happy, and the team that loses it extremely dejected because when you lose it this way, so close, in overtime, it always hurts. And Bruce Hood now says, let's go. Puts up his hand, and he's ready to go. Players taking their final whirl in their respective ends of the ice.
Well, the clock shows 20 minutes, just like a regulation period of time. The two teams have switched ends of the rink, the same as if we were playing a 4-period game. The only difference, of course, being the first score will end this hockey game. And stay with us, we'll stay with you, and it's going to be a great finish.
Eddie Jackman is on the 8th Street side of the Garden, and Billy Smith on the 7th Avenue side, 8th Avenue and 7th Avenue. Phil Rizzuto said as a youngster growing up, that meant a lot, which avenue for him. Well, I hope that helps paint the picture for you. The draw taken by Lewis, shoots it in the Rangers' end. Vickers after the puck. Vickers now loses, draw and scores!
Oh, look at that, he scored! J.P. Parise has scored, and the Islanders are going on in the playoffs. Holy mackerel, how about that? Holy cow, we're going on down.
Look at that mob scene. They're just going out of their mind.
11 seconds gone into the period. 1949, and the Islanders have done it. They're going on in the Stanley Cup. Dom, I'm ready to jump out of the booth. Holy cow.
How about that? As Phil would say, holy cow. The Islanders win it, and they go in now to the next round. And the Rangers, in true professional style, come on to congratulate the Islanders. You notice Gary Howe and Eddie Jackman took a little extra time to say thank you and wish the best. A couple of class guys. So the Islanders go on now, and we'll see who they'll play when we find out who wins between Toronto and Los Angeles.
Tom, as I watch this ceremony with Joe Villamure and Billy Smith, and my happiness here for the Islanders, I can't help feeling sorry for the Rangers and Emile Francis. Just a great club. Emile Class walks over to Al Arbour, shakes his hand, and heads for the locker room. Just a great game, 2 great clubs, and I'm sorry that this had to happen. But look at the elation on the Islanders.
Ralph Stewart, who did not dress tonight, is out on the ice in his street clothes, and we're glad to see that. Ralph, of course, contributed during the season. The Islanders now skate off. They've won it. They've defeated the Rangers. It's almost unbelievable as the Islanders in their 3rd season. You know, Jim, this is the 3rd straight victory for the Islanders here at Madison Square Garden. This is just incredible because the Islanders, an expansion club, 3rd season, and they've been able to do it all here tonight.
Well, the courage of Al Arbour has to be mentioned. Al Arbour went with Billy Smith in the net when many experts would have faulted him. I thought Billy Smith was outstanding tonight, and I want to commend Al Arbour for having the guts and the courage of his convictions to go with Billy Smith in this game here tonight.
J.P. Parise, who became the folk hero at the Coliseum, 2nd goal of the playoffs from Jude Bruin, and how that combination helped and you look back at that trade that was so important at 11 seconds. And that's the end of the game with a final score, the New York Islanders 4, the New York Rangers 3.
The people of Eastern believe they're going to make your next Eastern flight a great flight.
Part of my job at Eastern is solving travel problems. If you've got one, call me.
You've got to believe.
I'll do everything I can to get you where you want to go, when you want to go.
We're going to do more than just get you there. We're going to take good care of you all the way.
You got to believe.
I'm going to do everything I can to give you a smooth flight.
If you're flying to Florida, Eastern can give you more than any other airline. With the most daily nonstop for cities in Florida, including Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Petersburg, West Palm Beach, Sarasota, and Orlando, home of Walt Disney World. Take a money-saving Eastern night coach to most cities in Florida and save about 20% off the regular day coach airfare. For reservations to Florida, call the travel specialist, your travel agent, or call Eastern, the wings of man.
The New York Islanders had built up a 3-0 lead. The Rangers came back like you knew they would, tied it up, and in the first overtime, the Islanders win it at 11 seconds. First time in the Rangers' end, J.P. Parise, the tip in on the centering pass by Drew Druin. The summary of the hockey game. Clark Gillies made it 1-0 in the first period. At 16 minutes of the period, his second playoff goal from Bob Bourne, Bert Marshall. That's how the period ended. In the second period, Dennis Potvin took over. He picked up a power play goal. His first goal of the playoffs from John Potvin, Bob Nystrom at 8:26. And then a shorthanded goal by Dennis Potvin. His second of the playoffs, second of the period, from Lorne Henning at 12:51, and it was 3-0 Islanders. Not to be denied, the New York Rangers came roaring back. Billy Fairburn, who is the all-time career leader in goals against the Islanders, scored 2 in a row. His third of the playoffs from Walt Kachuk, Ron Drescher at 4:44, and then Billy Fairburn, a power play goal, his fourth of the playoffs, and his 11th goal career-wise against the Islanders from Vickerson Park at 13:27, and then Steve Vickers tied it up 3-3. His second playoff goal from Jean Rattel, Raj Gilbert at 13:41, and it was 3-3. And then into the first overtime, J.P. Parise, the tip-in on the centering pass by Jude Druin at 11 seconds, and the Islanders win it 4-3. 40 shots on goal by the Rangers, 25 by the Islanders. And you be sure and listen to WMCA. We should be able to have the information on for you sometime tomorrow with who the Islanders will be playing. Jim?
Phil Chadwick, who just showed a great deal of class. Phil just walked over and congratulated Dom and I and wished us good luck the rest of the way. I think that's nice for Bill Chadwick. He's a class guy.
Well, you'd expect it from Bill, who was a great official, elected into the Hall of Fame, and certainly appreciate what he said. And of course, a New York team now in that quarterfinal round, and I hope they do go all the way. Jim? You're kind of beat, buddy. Thank you very much, and we'll see you wherever the next round is.
Tom, I'm looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure. And for the Islander fans, it's been a wait. Not a long one, a short one, and who knows what's next? Maybe the world.
All right, the final score for the final time. The New York Islanders win it. Still up on the scoreboard, 4-3 at 11 seconds of the first overtime. J.P. Parise, and it came from Druin. Tonight's game has been brought to you by the Schaefer Brewing Company, New York. Remember, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And by Manhattan American Sales, your savings corner for Gremlin, Hornet, Matador, Jeep, and guaranteed used cars at 66 and West End Avenue. And by the people of Eastern, the official airline of the Nesson Islanders, who believe they're going to make your next flight on Eastern a great flight. Eastern, the wings of man. And by European American Bank, the bank that has made a commitment to bring you better banking. Good night, everybody.